Maroa-Forsyth has demolished 13 opponents this season, but the Trojans will face a fellow unbeaten team today. First-time finalist the Westville Tigers come roaring into Champaign. The 2A champ is crowned next on the IHSA TV network.
And welcome to Memorial Stadium on the campus of the University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana. It's the busiest shopping day of the year, and Maroa-Forsyth and Westville are in the market for a state championship, but Greg Bradshaw, in this case, one size does not fit all. This is the Class 2A championship. Kicking things off here today, a couple undefeated teams.
Two undefeated teams, going to be a great ball game, two great programs. One of them is going to go away as the state champion.
Let's take a look at how these two teams made it to Champaign-Urbana. First, the visitors for Maroa. They really haven't had a very tough time in the playoffs, beating Central A&M, then Williamsfield a shutout in round two, 49-21 over Rushville Industry, and KZ Westfield last week, a 35-0 semifinal win at home for the Trojans. For Westville, it's been a little more interesting. First round, they scored in the final seconds to beat Clifton Central, a shutout against Sidel Jamaica Salt Fork. Georgetown Ridge Farm was a semi-easy game, and then Morrison, Westville led that one, and they came back, did Morrison in the second half to make it quite a ball game.
Yeah, it was a good ball game. Morrison, I think, was a little bit favored in that game, but Westville played a good football game, made two goal line stands to preserve the victory.
Let's take a look at our key players for this ball game. First, for the visitors, the Trojans, a great balanced offense led by Luke Hockaday, their senior quarterback.
Luke is signed at Eastern Illinois. He's thrown for over 2,600 yards, 36 touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions. He's got a great arm, makes great decisions.
Then defensively for the Trojans, their key player is Cody Mauze.
Yeah, Cody is big, he's strong, he can run. Their defense has only given up 86 points all year. There's a good look at him right there. He makes tackles all over the field, and he'll be tested today to stop the running game of Westville.
Great lateral movement for Cody Mauze. For the home team, Caleb Pratt. This is a team that likes to run primarily, and their leader is Caleb Pratt. 1,800 yards this season for the Tigers.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of pressure on him today. He needs to carry the load. They want to keep the ball out of the hands of Luke Hockaday, and he needs to have a big game today. He's had 32 touchdowns on the year, and they're looking for big things from him.
The Westville defense allowing only 9 points per game this season, and Jordan Ballard, another linebacker, is their key player.
Yeah, Jordan has had almost 100 tackles this year. They have a small linebacking core, but they can really run. They're very quick. They're going to be tested today as they'll be challenged to stop both the running game and then also the passing game of Luke Hockaday.
And we see a couple of programs that have been pretty close here before. Maroa-Forsyth in the semifinals 2 years ago, and it was Westville in the semifinals a year ago, and they were knocked off by eventual state champion Aledo. So these two teams, these two programs have been aiming for this game for a couple of years now.
Yeah, they circled it on their schedule at the beginning of the season. They're excited to be here. We're looking forward to a great football game, really the start of a lot of great football in the next 2 days.
All right, it's Westville and Maroa-Forsyth for the 2A state championship. Let's go to PA announcer Jeff Fritzen for today's starting lineups.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, here are the starting lineups for this Class 2A state championship. First, the defense for Westville High School, coached by Guy Goodlove. Defensive lineman number 72, Devin Gay. Number 61, Corey Henry. Number 66, Seth Moody. At defensive end, number 32, Jeremy Lutchka. At end, number 71, Jake Howe. At linebacker, number 40, Eli Williams. Linebacker, number 52, Dustin Zayer. Linebacker, number 55, Jordan Ballard. Defensive back, number 12, Kyle Strubbing. Defensive back number 33, Caleb Pratt. And defensive back number 18, Jordan Barney. And now the starting offense for Maroa-Forsyth High School. Head coach Josh Jostis. Wide receiver number 3, Robert Krebs. Wide receiver number 86, Michael Jump. Wide receiver number 5, Austin Place. At left tackle, number 56, Don Powers. At left guard, number 78, Andrew Mills. At center, number 58, Bryce Hilburn. At right guard, number 70, Dustin Moore. At right tackle, number 65, Blake Hickey. At fullback, number 44, Kyle Sparks. Tailback, number 33, Shane Conaway. The quarterback, number 9, Luke Hockaday.
And we are back and ready to kick things off for our 2A state championship. Chevy Keys to the Game, brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. Check out the American Revolution going on right now.
From Maroa, they got up early this morning for the first game, but they want to get up early on Westville. They've had a great season all year long. They're a little bit intimidating on offense, especially if they can get a good start. That'd be great for them. Secondly, share the wealth. A lot of weapons. They got a great running back in Shane Conaway, obviously Luke Hockaday from the quarterback position, and some great receivers. They want to spread it around. And then lastly, they want to punish Caleb Pratt. They want to be physical against that running game of Westville and shut that down early.
And now for Westville, the Chevy Keys to the Game.
I would put down stop something. They need to take away either the running game or the passing game and make them one-dimensional, make Maroa one-dimensional. It's going to be tough, but if they can do that, that'll be very beneficial for them. Secondly, they need to get turnovers. This offense from Maroa is very dynamic, powerful. They need to get the ball on some takeaways. And then lastly, on offense, Westville needs to have some big plays. Look for some play-action passing from the quarterback and making some big plays today to make a difference for them.
And you talk about take away something,
number
stop
18,
something.
Jordan Barney.
2,628 yards passing for Luke Hockaday. Shane Conaway, 2,059 yards for the Trojans. Westville is set to kick off. Jordan Barney will kick it away. Conaway and Austin Place are deep to receive. The kick is toward Conaway, and he watches it bounce out of bounds at the 12-yard line, and it will be a penalty against Westville on the opening play of this ball game.
It's a good decision there by Conaway to let it go out. He was kind of making a quick decision, but it's smart. They'll get the ball on the 35-yard line. Good field position for Maroa to start the game.
And as they march things off and get ready for the first drive.
They're going to make them kick it again, it looks like.
Let's take a look at the maps. Maroa-Forsyth, just north of Decatur. Westville over in the Danville area. So neither team traveling very far, and that's kind of been a concern for the Champaign-Urbana area, the hotels and the restaurants and things. A lot of local teams. St. Joe Ogden's from near here. That's right. Playing a later game today.
It's good. The southern teams are playing good football, and I know the local businessmen don't like it, but it's going to be some great games, which we're looking forward to.
All right, so Westville will tee it up again from their own 35. Jordan Barney will kick off. Try this again, try and keep it between the white lines, and it's just a little squib kick. I don't even think it went 10 yards. It did go 10 yards. It's picked up there by number 83 for Maroa. That's Jordan Sims with a great catch there. Do you think that was purposely?
I don't think it was. I think it was just he miskicked the ball. It's a huge mistake for Westville. They've got to stop this offense. You don't want to give them a short field, but Maroa's going to start on the Westville side of the 50.
That would have been a live ball. It was, in essence, an onside kick. So it'll be first down and 10 from the 47-yard line for the Trojans of Maroa-Forsyth. Luke Hockaday in the shotgun. The handoff to Tyler Roush, and he goes nowhere.
Great pursuit out of Westville.
Here's a look at the starters for Maroa-Forsyth. Don Powers, Andrew Mills, Hilburn, Moore, and Hickey up front for the Trojans. In the backfield, there's Luke Hockaday, Kyle Sparks, Shane Conaway, who's over 2,000 yards, Robert Krebs, great wide receiver, Michael Jump, and Austin Place also at wideouts for the Trojans. They give Roush a yard. It's 2nd and 9. And it's a keeper for Hockaday, and he's nailed in the backfield by Seth Moody, the 220-pound senior lineman for Westville. Good defense on the first couple of plays for the Tigers. And here we get a look at them. Devin Gay, Corey Henry, Seth Moody, who just made that play for the Tigers. Eli Williams, Dustin Zoyer is how that's pronounced, Z-A-A-Y-E-R. Lechka, Streebing, Pratt, Barney, and Howe. There's the throw for Hockaday. It's complete to Austin Place, and he's down inside the 40-yard line. They'll mark it at the 48.
Huge play here in this ball game early.
Checked at the 38,
yep,
Greg.
They're 1 yard short. Big play here, 4th down now and 1 yard to go. Westville would love to have a stop to get some confidence early in this game. Big play.
Now Hockaday's also the punter, so they could do a little quick kick here. And a flag on the play, movement for Maroa. So this Trojans offense that's been so dominant this year is kind of struggling to get going here in the early going.
Yeah, that's what Westville needed to come out. They had 2 great sticks on those first 2 plays.
Dead ball.
Really great physical
False
tackles.
start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
And that penalty is going to force them to punt. They got the punting unit in here. And so a great job by that Westville defense.
As we mentioned, it's Hockaday to punt. Caleb Pratt, Eli Williams, in fact, now it will be Eli Williams to go back. He's back there by himself for Westville. Hockaday gets it away. It's a high kick. The wind is at his back. It takes a Westville bounce, and it'll be touched at the 20-yard line by Maroa, and that is where Westville will take over for their first possession of this ball game. Punt of 24 yards for Luke Hockaday, who averages 36 a punt. So he was just trying to squib it down there and give a little bit better, give them some field position.
Yeah, he was angling for the sidelines, but the ball just took a bad hop, and for Westville, they've got decent field position now just inside their 20. Could have been a lot worse for them.
It's 1st down and 10 for Westville from their own 19. Westville in the power I. It's a Tudis with the handoff, and that's Caleb Pratt. And both defenses a little stingy here early on a Friday morning.
Well, both defenses only given up less than 20 points for the entire year in the first quarter, both sides. So they play great defense early in the football game, and we're seeing it already.
And there you take a look at the starters for Westville. Atudis, the quarterback, Pratt and Barney, the running backs. Eli Williams will run the ball some too, Streebing and Lechka. For the Westville Tigers, coached by Guy Goodlove in his 12th year at Westville. 2nd down and 8. Backs in the eye. The fake handoff, Atudis with the pass. One hand almost grabbed, but Lechka couldn't hang on. The senior made a nice effort there, but just couldn't hang on to it.
Great call by Coach Goodlove there, and then a little play action pass, sending right out in the flat, and great throw by Atudis, just a drop ball. Unfortunately, going to bring up 3rd and long now, but a great call. Some play action passing we expect to see from Westville.
Beautiful sunshiny day here in Champaign-Urbana. The wind blowing right to left as you're looking at it, so Westville is going into a little bit of a breeze here. 3rd down and 8, Barney and Pratt in the I formation. Atudis back to throw. Has a man, and it's through the hands of Eli Williams, who's normally a pretty sure-handed receiver for the Tigers. Here's the Maroa-Forsyth starting lineup defensively. Don Powers, Mills, Hilburn, Moore, and Austin Place up front for the Trojans. Maze, Sparks, and Sullivan, the linebackers. Great linebacking core for Maroa. And there's Hockaday, the quarterback, in the defensive backfield, along with Krebs and Michael Jump. So that's 4th and 8 now, and Westville will have to kick it away. Troy Davis is standing at his own 48-yard line. Bit of a short snap. Get it away, and it's fielded at the 49-yard line by Davis, and he steps up and is brought down at the 42-yard line, where it will be 1st down and 10 for Maroa-Forsyth. Punt of 30 yards into that wind, and a 9-yard return for Troy Davis.
Yeah, Westfield unfortunately had 2 drops. Atudis threw 2 great balls. 2 drops by his receivers forced the punt, and again, great field position for Maroa now inside the 50 once again. Both drives starting in Westville territory.
Luke Hockaday, the All-State quarterback, in the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers right, 1 left. Hockaday to throw. He's looking deep. Has a man. It's caught, and a touchdown for Maroa-Forsyth. That's Robert Krebs, who's going to play basketball at the University of Illinois Chicago. 43 yards on the pitch and catch.
Beautiful play by Hockaday. He stepped up in the pocket. Nice throw on the run, right in the numbers. Fairly decent coverage too, just a great throw, great catch. 6 points for Maroa. They can strike so quickly. Great protection too as well up front, and great execution.
Alex Chilligris, the kicker, 62 for 77 on the point after attempts this year. Kick is up and good, and just like that, after struggling on their first drive, Maroa-Forsyth strikes on one play, 43 yards. Luke Hockaday to Robert Krebs, and it's a 7-0 Maroa lead.
Well, Westville has a challenge now. They need to get something going on offense, so we'll see what they do when they get back.
And welcome back to the University of Illinois Memorial Stadium, Lee Hall, Greg Bradshaw. 8:51 to go here, first quarter. Maroa-Forsyth with the quick 7-0 lead on the 37th touchdown pass this season for Luke Hockaday.
Yeah, Hockaday made a great throw and a great catch by Krebs, and a great start for Maroa.
22, Justin Barnes to kick off for Maroa-Forsyth.
Alex Chilligris will kick off. And he's got a pretty good wind at his back. It's over the head of Caleb Pratt and into the end zone for a touchback. Westville will start at their own 20-yard line. Let's take another look at that touchdown from Hockaday to Robert Krebs.
You see him step up in the pocket, throw the ball on the run, right on the money, which you could see wasn't really that poor coverage, just a great throw and great catch, and it's hard to defend the perfect pass. And they've hooked up many times already this year. Krebs has 24 touchdown passes, just got his 25th, and those guys have had a lot of great years together, 3 years together, and looking great here early in this game.
Krebs, the leading receiver in the state in catches, yards, and touchdown catches. That was number 25. 1st and 10 from their own 20 for Westville. Here's Pratt wearing the orange jersey and the orange pants, and drags a couple of tacklers with him and gains about 2 for 2nd and 8. Caleb Pratt, 1,887 yards. He averages about 9.5 yards per carry.
Looks like Maroa-Forsyth is going to force them to pass. They got 9 men up in the box, playing man-to-man outside and just daring Westville to throw the football. So we'll see if they're able to see that from up the coaches upstairs in the box and make some adjustments. You can see there 9 men right around the line of scrimmage, only 2 corners on the outside.
Atudis will throw. He has a man. That's Aaron Johnson, and he's out to the 35-yard line. Pick up of 13. That'll be a 1st down for the Tigers.
Nice call there, taking advantage of what the defense did. You see the catch. Nice run after the catch as well. Almost broke away. Great 13-yard gain. And they're going to have to do a lot more of that, it looks like, as Maroa's really up around the line of scrimmage to stop the run.
Jacob Atudis, a 6'1" senior quarterback. 60% completion ratio this year, so he can throw it. He just hasn't had to very much. That's Williams in motion. The handoff is to Pratt. He's got some room to run, and he's out across the 45-yard line. And that'll be another first down for the Westville Tigers.
First time Westville has spread out the formation. You can't see here, but they've spread out the formation, gave some room for Pratt to run. Nice hole, good run, gets tripped up and falls forward for some extra yards. Another first down. Nice call again by Coach Goodlove, spreading the field out a little bit to get some of those guys out of the run defense around in the close to the line of scrimmage.
Gain of 11. It's first down and 10 from their own, just outside their own 45-yard line. Backs are split this time. It's Williams and Pratt. The give is to Eli Williams. He's an elusive runner. He bounces outside, keeps his balance. Flag on the play as he gets first down yardage. But from where that flag came from, it will likely be holding against Westville.
Yeah, it looks like that was a pretty tough call. I think I saw the wide receiver, I don't know if it was Williams, blocking really hard at the outside, and just at the last second he reached out in a push that allowed him to get around the corner.
Oh, they're waving off the flag.
Whoa.
Wow. There's a break for Westville.
That's a big play. Boy, I don't know how they make that decision.
Frank Caliendo is a comedian who does a great John Madden impersonation, and that's one of the lines he uses. If you see the flag on the play, more than likely, unless the ref made a mistake, it's going to be a penalty. And that time the referee apparently made a mistake, so.
Wow. Big break for Westville.
It'll be first down and 10, the first down running for Eli Williams. Now the give is to Pratt. He tries the right side and gets about 4 yards, maybe 5. Pratt averaging check that, he's gained 642 yards in 4 postseason games. That's an average of 160 a game, which is up from his average of 138 in the regular season. So he's really picked it up, and of course so have his linemen here in the postseason. No running back goes anywhere without a good offensive line. Second down and 6 for the Tigers. Trailing 7-0. Maroa, the early lead here in the first quarter of our Class 2A state final. Barney and Pratt in the eye. The give is to the up back Barney, and he is down near the 30-yard line. It'll be another Westville first down. So even though Maroa's defense is trying to stop that run, as we take a look at our officials for today's ball game, congratulations to those gentlemen. Even though Maroa is trying to take away the run, Westville is finding ways to gain yardage here.
Yeah, it was a quick trap, just a pulling guard. Made a quick opener to give it to Barney, and he's a big, strong, physical runner, and got the first down.
Just 269 yards for Jordan Barney coming into this ball game, but he can get the tough ones when he needs them. First and 10 from the 31. The give is to Pratt to the left side this time. Good pursuit by Maroa, but he eludes one tackler before he slides down at the 30-yard line.
Good pursuit there by the Maroa defense. They're quick. They've got a lot of speed side to side. It's tough to run side to side on this defense. Here's a good look at it right here. He's trying to get to the outside. Gets to the corner, just slips down, but actually a good job not to take the loss here. Looks like he was going to get nice stiff arm there. Comes across, gets at least 1 yard. Could have been easily a 3-4 yard loss.
Second down and 10 for the Tigers. Atutis will throw. Looks for a man, has a man. That's Aaron Johnson. Good coverage. That was Torrey Stepney all over him, but a good catch by Aaron Johnson. Missed 4 weeks with a fractured rib. Gain of 14.
Here's Atutis rolling out, throws on the run, throws a strike right in the gut. That's the only place he could put it. Great coverage, but again, great throw by Jacob Atutis, getting the ball now down to the 16-yard line. Great drive here by Westville. Good execution, good offensive line play, giving Atutis time, and good execution on the pass and catch.
Ball on the 16. This drive started at their own 20. Here's the pitch to Pratt. Reads his blocks. Gets down to about the 12-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 4 and bring up second down and 6.
Good mix of running, passing here, inside, outside runs. Doing a nice job keeping the Maroa defense a little bit off balance. It's been a great drive this time. It's good to see Westville get right back in this game with a good offensive series here.
10th play of the drive for Westville.
This is what they want to do. The ball control, move the ball, 4 or 5 yards of carry, keep the ball out of the hands of Luke Hockaday. Exactly. That powerful offense.
2nd down and 6. The hand is to Pratt. And not much room up the middle. Good job that time by the Maroa defense. Pick up about almost 2 yards there. It'll bring up 3rd and a long 4.
We might see this as 4-down territory here from Westville. They're kicking into a little bit of a win if they want to kick a field goal, but you might see them go for it here on 4th down. So they just want to get some good positive yards here, get at least close to the 1st down. They'll probably go for that 1st down.
41 yards on the ground for Jacob Batutis and the Westville Tigers as they look at 3rd and 4 from the 11-yard line. Here's Pratt inside the 10. He's got room and he's in for the score. Caleb Pratt, 10-yard touchdown. His 28th rushing touchdown this season. Number 33 total for this year. Coach Guy Goodlove says he's in the top 10 in the IHSA in scoring, and a chance to break that record here today. And an extra point would give the Tigers a tie here with 2:45 left in the 1st quarter. Jordan Barney, 40-point after kicks this season for Westville. Atutis is the holder. High snap. Oh, goodness. Chased down by Barney at his own 32 and just heaves it. It's caught at the 15 and a flag on the play. And that'll be ineligible receiver, I would imagine.
Nate James doesn't get to catch a lot of passes. He saw that in here. He's like, I'm going to catch it. I'm going to try to get in. Oh, that's unfortunate. But it's a good positive drive from Westville, exactly what they needed to do to get right back in this football game.
Boy, and the point after touchdown, you take it for granted so often.
Here's a look at the touchdown here. Great block by Barney, number 18 right there. See 2 good blocks by the wide receivers, and he walks into the end zone. Excellent job by that offensive line. And there's Barney's block right there, and then he kicks to the outside. Nice touchdown. Excellent work. Really, Westville has had one negative play, is really that touchdown. Other than that, their defense has played well, and then their offense has really showed that they can move the ball against this Maroa-Forsyth defense.
That point after, though, you so often take it, and that's not always the case. A tough break. We'll see if that affects the outcome of this game. Westville with the 80-yard drive. The point after no good, and it's a 7-6 Maroa-Forsyth lead. Here you get a look at Guy Goodlove in his 12th year, 56 and 66 as the head coach at Westville. And there's the Trojan for Maroa-Forsyth. Enjoying a sunny, unseasonably warm day here on the day after Thanksgiving. Our belated Thanksgiving wishes to you and yours wherever you're watching today's game in our great state. It'll be Jordan Barney to kick off into the win for Westville. Shane Conaway, Austin Place, back for Maroa, and Jordan Barney will have to tee it up again. A little bit of a breeze out there today. Otherwise, a perfect day for football here in Champaign-Urbana. It's a high kick, and it's Shane Conaway. We haven't heard much from him today, the leading rusher for Maroa. He's out and across the 30-yard line, where Maroa will take over at the 31. 17-yard return for Shane Conaway. And Westville will play the defense. There's a look at the weather, and it's just absolutely gorgeous here today. 46 degrees, winds out of the south at 10. Sunny forecast, beautiful day. unlike anything we've seen down here for a couple of years at least. Luke Hockaday, the future Eastern Illinois Panther, in the shotgun, hands it off. This is Conaway, and he gains about 3 yards before he's brought down there at the 34.
You've got a good look at the Maroa-Forsyth offense, how they spread the field. They can do a little bit under center, but mostly they're going to be in the shotgun formation all day. They sometimes go with no backs in the backfield. And Hockaday just picks out his receivers, looks over the whole field, and he's got a lot of weapons to throw to.
Big numbers for Shane Conaway. Trips receivers left this time for Maroa. 2nd down and 6. Hockaday lobs it up to the right side. It's Krebs again. He adjusts to the ball, but he's out of bounds. Made the catch, but he was out of bounds. And pretty good coverage there for Caleb Pratt and the Westville Tigers.
Krebs might have got away with a little push too. He was over there, I think, like boxing out. He's got a basketball player. He knows how to box out. And he was going up for the rebound there. But here, you're going to look at it here, right along the sideline. Good coverage and actually good catch, but just out of bounds.
He had to adjust to that ball. Hockaday kind of threw it up, and it hung in the air for quite a while. 3rd and 6. Hockaday steps up. He's forced out of the pocket and brought down there where he's short of the 1st down. That's not Caleb Pratt this time. It's Jeremy Luchka with the tackle. And it'll bring up 4th and 4 for Maroa. So for the 2nd time in 3 drives, they are 3 and out.
Yeah, Westville's bringing a lot of people. They're doing a great job mixing up their blitzes, and they're going after them. They're attacking.
Hockaday feels the low snap, puts it up. Eli Williams raises his hand for the fair catch. And look at the bounce. Can they get to it in time? No, it'll be a touchback. Great hustling play, though, by Maroa-Forsyth there. Number 86, Michael Jump with the good wheels. He almost got to that one. That was a heck of a bounce for Luke Hockaday.
Yeah, that was over a 60-yard punt, 63-yard punt. It was just a bullet, and just it would have bounced a little bit higher. They might have been able to stop it, but now Westville will start again on their own 20.
1:15 to go here in the 1st quarter. Lee Hall, Greg Bradshaw coming to you from Champaign, home of the Fighting Illini, and the Westville Tigers wearing that orange, so kind of an Illini feel to the game here today. They marched 80 yards on their last drive. Can they do it again into this win? Backs in the eye, it's Barney and Pratt. This is Pratt. He's got room to run on the left side. Out across the 30. It's a 1st down and more for Caleb Pratt. He's brought out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Gain of 24 for Caleb Pratt.
Nice call here again by Westville. They go unbalanced to the right, and then they run back to the left. All they do is get a kick out there by the fullback. Great block, knockdown pancake block, and then Pratt's off to the races. Great job there. Great call again. Good scheme, good execution. Great block by Jordan Barney. If you get a chance, watch number 18. He's a great football player at the fullback position. He's one of the keys to get Pratt open.
1st down and 10 after the big gain from the 44-yard line. Eli Williams is split right. The give is to Pratt. He runs one way, cuts back the other before he gains about 3. Jordan, 2nd and 7.
Jordan Tigers, their fullback, 2 pancake blocks on 2 consecutive plays. He is a great blocker, number 18. He is real physical, and he's doing a great job opening up those holes for Pratt.
Transferred to Westville last year, played for Seidel Jamaica Salt Fork as a freshman in 2004. This formation a little bit more tightly packed.
Fumble.
It's a fumble, it's a loose ball. The Trojans say they have it, and they do. They take it away from Atutis before he could hand it off.
Great penetration by the nose man. I don't know who it was, but it was a great penetration. Got it, you'll see it here. He comes through right there, hits the quarterback, and they couldn't even have time to get the exchange. And the ball goes over to Maroa. And again, another drive inside the 50 for Maroa-Forsyth.
So a break for the Trojans with 19 seconds left on the 1st quarter clock. Luke Hockaday and the Trojans will try and take advantage. The reverse comes to the left side.
Got up.
And it's all the way. Number 22, Tyler Roush, will take it to the house. 44 yards for Tyler Roush on the reverse. There's a flag after the play. A couple of players get in each other's face, but it's Tyler Roush, the 5'11" freshman with the great wheels, on the reverse. Little razzle-dazzle from the Trojans, and they get the touchdown. We'll see about the penalty, but that flag came well after.
They waved it off.
They waved that off. It was two players, so it's hard to throw a flag on one team and not the other. So a couple of big plays for this Trojans offense, quick strikes, and they have a chance to go up 14-6 here.
Yeah, it was a great play. Great, again, blocking out front. Westville had 2 or 3 defenders out here, but Maroa had 3 or 4 blockers, and they took care of their business and gave them 6 points.
Chilligris for the point after. He made his first one. This one is good as well. 64 for 79 this season for Alex Chilligris. And it's a 14-6 Maroa-Forsyth lead with 15 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Take another look. This play was almost stopped. It looked like they had a chance to stop him, but then he bounces outside and he's gone.
Yeah, great blocking up front. There's some blocking by the wide. Another pancake block there, and he is wide open, using his speed, get to the end zone. That's exciting for a freshman to score in the state championship game.
Here's the Maroa-Forsyth scoring drives. One play, 43-yard touchdown pass. One play, 44-yard run. We talk about quick strikes. Doesn't get much quicker than that, does it?
Right. Westville has done a good job on everything else. They've stopped the run. They're being very physical. They're getting pressure on Hockaday, but they've got to stop those big plays.
Westville's defense allowing less than 10 points per game this season, but the Trojans had put up 14 here in the first quarter. Luke Hockaday leading his team to the 14-6 advantage. Josh Jostis, his 7th year at Maroa, leading the Trojans. We mentioned they made it to the semifinals 2 years ago, and Hockaday was just a sophomore. He was a very good quarterback then. We saw him against Sterling Newman, the eventual state champs, and he was a very solid quarterback as a sophomore, and he's just really matured here as a senior. Chilligris, the line drive kick right at Caleb Pratt. I think he looked almost like he lost it in the sun. He went right over his shoulder. If he was going to let it go into the end zone, I don't think he would have gotten that close to it.
I think it was the sun in his eyes, and actually it's probably okay for that to have happened, because I think they would have been inside the 20. Now they get to start on the 20.
They will start on their own 20 and probably just get one play from scrimmage before they will turn around and go with the win. Yardage pretty even. Here's Pratt taking the handoff, bouncing off a couple of tacklers. He's tough to bring down. He's out across the 30, and that'll be another first down for Westville. A gain of 11 for Caleb Pratt. He's got 74 yards already in this ball game.
And that's what Westville wanted to do. They wanted to get Caleb Pratt off early, get him established so they can control the football, keep the clock running, keep the ball out of the hands of that offense. But they do need to score every time they have the ball, but use some time when they do it.
And that's the end of the first quarter. Maroa-Forsyth, the 14-6 lead over Westville. We'll be back with second quarter action coming your way next.
Sudden cardiac arrest is a leading cause of death, claiming the lives of nearly 1,000 Americans of all ages every day. Thanks to
And welcome back, Lee Hall, Greg Bradshaw, and the Tigers faithful here on a sunny, gorgeous day in Champaign-Urbana. Maroa-Forsyth, the 14-6 lead. And you look at some of the stats, Greg, and you look at the first downs. There's some that's no big deal today.
You look at some of the bare skin and some bellies.
If it's 20 degrees or 30 degrees, it's a big deal to have your shirt off. It's 46 degrees and sunny. They might get a tan today. 8 first downs for Westville, only 2 for Maroa-Forsyth, yet the Trojans lead this ball game 14-6.
It's big plays. Big plays have been the difference early. But Westville just needs to stay the course, keep getting those first downs, keep using clock, stay in the football game, and score, and stay right with Maroa.
Jacob Atutis, the senior quarterback, under center. Westville at their own 31. Atutis to throw, looking downfield, has a man. That's Kyle Streebing, and he makes the catch inside the 30 at the 29-yard line.
Beautiful throw, beautiful catch. We're seeing some great quarterback and receiver play today. A nice play-action pass. Atutis just delivered a strike and a beautiful diving catch.
40 yards on the pickup. Let's go down to Sarah Kustok down on the field.
Thanks, Lee. Well, both these schools have put together seasons to remember. Now, for Maroa-Forsyth, their 13 wins on the season has been a school history best. They've also won 23 of the last 24 games. Over for Westville, also a school best to have 13 wins, and this is only the 3rd season in school history that we're going to have to cut to this play, guys, and then get back to me because I got some more good stuff for you.
Head, no pickup there. Keep going, Sarah. We want to find out what's going on.
This is only the 3rd time Westville has had double-digit wins in their school history, these last 2 seasons being the back-to-back best. But, Lee, I got something good for you. They have undefeated seasons up till this point, both teams. The last time each school has had an undefeated season, both in 1960. Back to you.
All right, Sarah, thanks a lot. That predates both of us, doesn't it?
Yeah, 1960s way back, before they even had the state championships.
2nd and 11 for the Tigers. Here's Caleb Pratt over the right side, a flag on the play as he's brought down at the 24-yard line. Well, you talk about this Westville program. Guy Goodlove, this school, only 2 winning seasons in 26 years prior to Goodlove taking over in '95. As the officials discuss the penalty, and we'll hear from them in just a second. So there was not much tradition there for Westville before Guy Goodlove got there.
Yeah, he's done a nice job turning this program around.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, 2nd down.
So one of the few penalties here, one of the few penalties they haven't waved off, I should say. Right. One of the few flags they haven't waved off. There you get a look at the Westville coaching staff and Guy Goodlove. 0-9 the first 2 seasons as head coach, but he has done quite a job to bring this Westville team to the state championship game, their first. 10:29 to go, 2nd quarter. Westville down 14-6. Fakes the handoff. Atutis being pursued from behind and brought down. The Trojans with the good defensive effort there. Don Powers, 6'2" senior, with great pursuit to bring Atutis down from behind. And they're going the wrong way now.
Yeah, the high snap kind of got them out of rhythm, and Atutis has nowhere to go. Great pursuit from behind. There was nowhere to go. Great defense, resulting in 3rd and long.
3rd and 22 now. The Tigers in a tough spot here. Atutis will go from the shotgun. He's back to throw at midfield. Gives to the right side to Eli Williams to the 40. He's brought down at the 35, or he'll be well short of a 1st down.
Little screen pass, good call. Got some yardage, brings up 4th and 16. Good, tough decision here for Coach Goodlove. 35-yard line, he could punt the ball or he could choose to go for it. They're talking it over here on the sideline.
No field goal attempts for Jordan Barney this year.
Looks like they're going to go for it here.
So that is not an option, you would think. They wouldn't start trying to kick field goals here in the state championship game. We are under 9 minutes to go now, 2nd quarter. 14-6, the Maroa lead. 4th and 16. Another high snap. Here comes the blitz. The throw to the right side. Eli Williams, the intended receiver, broken up there and incomplete. Robert Krebs, the all-state receiver, the defensive back breaking up that pass intended for Eli Williams.
Another high snap. Here's great pressure coming on Atutis. He steps up and tries to throw it up. Give his receiver a chance to catch the ball, but Krebs is right there for good defensive play. You can see a look there, just jumping up for the ball. And actually, it's good he didn't intercept it. That means they get the ball on the 35 rather than the 10-yard line.
So the Trojans take over. They've got 4 wide receivers in this set. High throw to Krebs, one-hands it. He caught it that time, and he's down at the 40-yard line. Pick up of 5.
Beautiful catch. You see his athletic ability as he goes up and grabs it and makes a fantastic catch. We have, as I mentioned earlier, seen some great receiving today and some great catches.
Krebs, 1,400 yards receiving coming into this ball game. 24 touchdowns, and he's added to that with a touchdown catch here today. 2nd and 5. Hockaday rolling left, looking. Here comes the rush, and he's brought down in the backfield. Seth Moody with the sack for the Tigers. He had 3 sacks in the Westville win against Seidel Jamaica's Salt Fork.
There was really nobody open. Hockaday had time to throw, but the defensive backfield had covered those receivers and allowed Moody to get in to make the sack.
Some more of the Tiger faithful cheering on their defense on 3rd and 13. Hockaday looks left, and getting a hand on it was big number 71, Jake Howe for the Tigers. 5'9", 165 senior, got a hand on it, and that'll bring up 4th down for Maroa-Forsyth.
Nice job, just get his arms up, makes the tip, and forces the punt. Excellent play there, and good job again by the Westville defense. Another stop.
Hockaday back to punt. He'll be punting into the wind this time. Caleb Pratt is back. Eli Williams both running away from it. It takes a Westville bounce, and it's down at the 45-yard line. So Westville, for once, doesn't have to start at their own 20. That seems like they've been there all day.
Yeah, they finally get a little better field position. The wind has had something to do with it. We saw early to start the game with the missed kick, and it's every... I don't know what the penalty was, Lee, but there was something on the field. But we're just talking about the effects of the wind here. The wind has made a difference for field position. Everything's been on really the left side of the field with the offense is starting with great field position.
I think a Maroa player must have touched it before the initial. Okay. Yeah, they put it at the 47-yard line instead of the 45, where the Tigers, clad in their bright orange, will take over. This is Jordan Barney out across the 50. Check that, Eli Williams in the backfield that time. 612 yards receiving, 609 yards rushing for Eli Williams. Talk about balance. Now that's balance for number 40.
Yeah, Coach Goodlove, I was talking to him. He said he reminds him of Gale Sayers the way that Williams runs. And he says Pratt reminds him of Walter Payton.
I wonder if he's a Bear fan by any chance. 2nd and 5 for the Tigers. They've played very well to this point. A lot of prognosticators thinking that there would be 4 blowouts today, but that's not the case to this point. Caleb Pratt brought down by a host of tacklers after a pickup of maybe 1.
Yeah, it's hard to make those kind of prognostications. Here's the play here to Pratt. He bounces it outside. Good pursuit. Difficult to run laterally. On Maroa, you see the quickness and coming up and making the hit by a bunch of defenders. But we were just talking about Maroa-Forsyth. Just you look at how they have defeated their opponents, both in the regular season and the playoffs, and it looks intimidating. But Westville has had a nice year, 13-0 themselves, and they're physical, and this is the kind of team that can play with Maroa.
And they have played some tight ball games themselves, especially here in the postseason. Here's Pratt. And he'll be close to a 1st down, and from the spot, it looks like he will have a 1st down at the 41-yard line.
Nice run by Pratt at first contact. He really was short of the 1st down, but he dragged the defender for 2 extra yards to get the 1st down. He's a nice physical runner, just the kind of guy that you can give the ball 35, 40 times and really eat up clock.
Westville over 100 yards rushing now, just 43 yards rushing for Maroa. They haven't really been able to get on track with the ground game. 1st and 10 for the Tigers, wearing those Clemson-like helmets. 41-yard line. The handoff is to Pratt. He gets a lane, and he's brought down after a pickup of 6.
Again, same play they ran previously for a 5-yard gain. Just the kind of offense they want to run, 5-6 yards. You know, the Maroa has 43 yards of offense. It really came on that one play, came on the reverse.
Right,
and they have not run the football other than that big play.
Shane Conaway, their leading rusher, just 1 carry for 4 yards. Pratt now with 87 yards here in the first half. 5 minutes to go, second quarter. It's a 14-6 lead for the Trojans of Maroa-Forsyth. Their defense trying to step up here against Westville, who's on a roll. Atutis, the fake handoff. The pitch out to Eli Williams, where he's brought down by Kyle Sparks, just short of a first down. It'll bring up 3rd down and 1. Here's our Menards first quarter stats. Save big money at Menards. 14-6 the score, but Westville with the stats advantage there. Look at the time of possession. Maroa, those 2 quick strike touchdowns, they really haven't been able to burn much clock.
Yeah, I think Westville likes to pace it this game a little bit better, I think. Maroa hasn't had any chance to get any rhythm on offense, but they've been able to score. But I think Westville is really starting to feel that they've got control of this football game.
Big defensive play here for Maroa on 3rd and 1. The handoff is to Barney, the up back. Did he get it? It's pretty close.
It's going to be real close. They're going to bring in the chains here.
It's an official timeout for measurement.
Our officials today, John McAvoy, John Rigg, Robert Schultz, Dave Figuera, and Keith Norman. Big thrill for them to be officiating a state championship game here today. Oh, so close, and it's first down, Westville.
And Barney got that all on his own. There wasn't much blocking. It was linebacker versus fullback, and he was able to just fall forward for the first down.
Well, they say Jordan Barney is a big hitter, an emotional kid on defense, and he gave his all on that one to get the first down for Westville and keep this drive alive with 3:39 to go in the second quarter. Westville down 8. Here's the give to Pratt, coming to the near side, brought down from behind. Great effort from the weak side by Austin Place, the 6-foot junior. He had a sack last week, and he comes up with a tackle for a loss here.
They're running off tackle here with Pratt, and Place comes off his block and does a great job with a little bit of help from his friends, forcing 2nd down and long.
This Maroa defense allowing only 8 points a game, 2 shutouts. One last week against KZ Westfield and then against Williamsville earlier this year. 21 yards all on the ground this time for the Tigers. 2:46 to go before halftime. Here's Pratt outside, nice block by big number 74, Nate James, and Pratt, oh, ball on the ground, it's loose. And it's Maroa ball, a big break for the Trojans there as they come up with the turnover. Pratt had great running room around the right side, but lost the handle on the ball. And it'll be Maroa ball when we come back. 2:35 to go, second quarter. The Trojans with a 14-6 lead. Welcome back to Champaign. Caleb Pratt with a big gain here, but he lost the pumpkin. And it's Maroa ball. There's a good strip. Didn't catch the number on that. Number 78, Andrew Mills, looks like he got his hand in there for Maroa, and that's a huge play for the Trojans. Westville was moving the ball, running the ball well, looking for a chance to tie this ball game going into halftime. Instead, it's the Trojans with the ball and the lead headed into the win. Trips receivers right for Luke Hockaday. Instead, it's a handoff. And I believe that's Conaway, and that's just his second carry of the game. He gets 6 yards that time. This is a guy that's rushed for 2,000 59 yards coming into the game, and that's just his second carry.
Yeah, they haven't had the ball much. Westville's really had the ball most of the first half.
16 minutes, 25 seconds possession for Westville, just 5 for Maroa. Of course, when you score on one play on each drive, that'll happen. That pass is complete to Tyler Roush, the freshman who scored on the end-around reverse, and he's got a first down after a gain of 15 on the play.
It's a nice quick pass. Westville's bringing linebackers and some safeties off the corner. Hockaday just steps back one step, delivers the ball quickly. Nice gain.
First down and 10 from the 42. Man in motion is Roush. And that fumble. There's a fumble. That handoff between Hockaday and Shane Conaway was botched. And now it's Westville ball. So the team's playing keep away with 1:57 to go here now. Boy, you don't see that very often from a veteran like Luke Hockaday and Shane Conaway, two seniors. And good job that time maybe by the Westville defense kind of getting in there and plugging things up.
Yeah, there was brought an inside linebacker, got right into the backfield and caused that exchange problem.
So Westville, after scoring on an 80-yard drive, their last 3 drives, they've fumbled, they turned it over on downs, and they fumbled. See if they can take advantage of this turnover. A couple of turnovers late here in the second quarter. Atutis the fake, and now, no, he kept it. And it's a wide open Jordan Barney for a touchdown. What a great fake by Jacob Atutis. He faked out yours truly, which doesn't take much, but more importantly, he faked out the Trojans defense, and that's a 38-yard touchdown strike with 1:51 to go in the second quarter.
What a great play. We faked out to the wide receiver for the quick screen, gave it to the fullback. It looked like we all thought the fullback had the ball, and then delivered a perfect strike down the sidelines. What a great executed play, a great call, and looking forward here for the 2-point conversion here to tie up this ball game.
Little sleight of hand by Jacob Atutis. Boy, you talk about a quarterback who can hide the ball, and he really did a great job. He faked the quick pass, faked the handoff to Pratt, and it looked like Pratt got the handoff from here. Now they're in their unbalanced I formation. We saw them run this a couple of times last week against KZ Westfield. Instead, there's a whistle and stoppage of play. I don't see a flag. Westville calls timeout.
Yep. Maybe saw something on the defensive side of the ball. They wanted to maybe call a different play. And good, wise timeout. They have 3 timeouts for the half, and a good use of the timeout to make sure they know what they're doing and talk it over. This is a big play.
Boy, and conversions don't really, you don't think of those as huge plays in a ball game, but this is a big one right here.
Any scoring opportunity is always a big play, and considering they missed the extra point, this makes this one even bigger.
1:51 to go here. Maroa-Forsyth with a 14-12 lead, and Guy Goodlove and the Westville Tigers trying to get this thing tied at 14 with 1:51 to go in the second quarter. There's some of the Westville faithful on a gorgeous day here, enjoying themselves not far from home. Their first trip to the state title game. We talked about building a program, you know, and how they'd only had 2 winning seasons the last 26 years. 0-9 the first 2 seasons. Now, Guy Goodlove, kind of old school. His coach, Don Lashmitt from Catlin High School. Check that, Catlin High School. I can't read my own writing. Catlin High School. The kids weren't allowed to talk on the bus on the way to the games. They weren't allowed to talk on the way home after a loss. So for 2 years, he says, my kids never talked on the bus. We finally got that first win in the 3rd year, and it was like a party. Here we go, the 2-point conversion try for Westville. Atutis again, a wide open Jordan Barney again. Nice fake handoff by Atutis. Jordan Barney with the touchdown catch and the 2-point conversion, and we are tied with 1:51 to go here in the second quarter. It'll be Maroa ball when we come back in the 2A state championship game from Champaign.
This over here, if it's the TV.
And we're back, 1:51 to go here in the second quarter. This Westville Tigers team showing a lot of grit. I think Maroa-Forsyth probably favored in this game in a lot of people's minds, but this Westville team has really been up against it in the postseason. They won on a last-second touchdown in round 1 against Clifton Central. And then they had the 21-20 game against Morrison last week. So it hasn't been an easy ride for them, and they are playing tough here today in the first half. That ball fielded at the goal line and brought out by Austin Place. He's across the 35 and brought down at the 39-yard line. 39-yard return for Austin Place. Great run back for number 5 for the Trojans. Austin is a 6-foot, 180-pound junior. And Maroa looking to get something going here. They're going into the wind. They'd like to get a score here and give themselves a lead going into the locker room. Twin receivers right and left for Luke Hockaday, the all-state quarterback headed to Eastern Illinois University next year. Here's the handoff to Conaway. Over 2,000 yards this year. He's brought down after a gain of 7. It'll bring up 2nd and 3 with the clock running and 1:33 to go.
Westville went into their prevent defense. They only were rushing 3. Hockaday looked like he audible to the run, and they got a nice gain.
Here's Hockaday back to throw. And Krebs was his intended receiver to the near sideline, but it was overthrown. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Had Krebs open, just lost the hand a little bit when he threw it over his head. They'll bring up 3rd and short here. It's been an interesting half for the Maroa offense. They just had those 2 big plays and really have not gotten into any rhythm. No running rhythm. Even Hockaday has really not had a chance to do his regular thing, get the ball out to all the receivers and get them all confident.
Gotten Conaway a few runs. Now Hockaday calls his own number and gets the first down across the 50. Maroa with all 3 of their timeouts left. That'll be a first down, and we'll stop the clock momentarily for the Trojans. They really had a pretty easy run of it through the playoffs. 51-12 over A&M, 52-0 over Williamsville, 49-21 against Rushville Industry, and then the 35-0 win against Hazy Westville. Here's Conaway to the left side. He's got room to run. He's brought down out of bounds at the 35. That will stop the clock after a pickup of 15 for Shane Conaway.
It's a nice decision there from the Maroa offense. They see the prevent defense. They're choosing to keep it on the ground. They know they got their 3 timeouts remaining. They're getting great gains, and Hockaday's looking over the field and making good decisions.
And Conaway, after a slow start, now has 4 carries for 33 yards rather. He's averaging well over 100 yards per game here in the postseason. It'll be another timeout for Westville. They want to talk things over here defensively and maybe catch their breath a little bit here as Maroa's making a run here to take a lead into the half.
Well, they've been the Westville defense has been aggressive, and that's been one of their keys. They've been very aggressive. They've been bringing people off the corner, bringing linebackers, and now they've been in the prevent, and Maroa's taken advantage of that, moved the ball actually the first time they've had an established drive in this first half.
And we've got more football coming your way later today. Up next in the 1A game, it's Tuscola against the Green Dragons of Aledo. They were the state champions in 2A a year ago. Breeze Mater Dei against 5-time state champ Driscoll Catholic. That's 5 in a row. And then St. Joe Ogden coming up against Plano in our 3A game tonight. Greg and I will be back with you for that 4A title game coming up later this afternoon. 1st and 10 for Luke Hockaday, 1:06 to go. The Trojans with their first drive, really, of this ball game. Here's Conaway down at the 30 after a pickup of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 with 58 seconds to go, and the Trojans will stop the clock this time.
It's such an advantage to have an experienced quarterback when you run this offense. Hockaday has the ability to change the play. He looks over the defense and he sees if they're in a prevent, they only have 3 rushing 3, he can call the run, and that's what he's been doing in this drive. They've made a good, given the decisions to Luke, and he's done a nice job.
Let's go downstairs to Sarah Kustok.
Thanks, Lee. Well, guys, make sure you pay attention to the confidence levels of both these teams. As you've already talked about, Westville squeaked out a win last week, 21-20, used to these close games. And from Maroa-Forsyth, they haven't had any team come within 28 points in the playoffs. So we got to see who is able, it's still early in this first half, but who is able to finish off these close games. Back to you, Lee.
All right, Sarah, well, that's a good point. And, you know, Maroa hasn't had to play a lot of close games. I'm not sure if they've had to play any, in fact.
No, they haven't. They have not played 4 quarters, really. Their starters haven't had to play 4 quarters and get in a game like that.
Here's the draw, and read well by the defense. Seth Moody right there for the stop. I mean, you look at these scores for Maroa-Forsyth, and there wasn't a close game all year.
No, the lowest points they scored all year was 34, and the most any opponent scored is 21.
And another timeout with 52 seconds left. And that should be leave Maroa with 1 timeout. Game tied at 14.
I think you're going to see Hockaday throw the ball here. This drive has been mostly runs, but I think he's going to put it up in the air. They know they got 2 downs to get the first down, but I think you'll see Hockaday try to find maybe Krebs here, out here in the right flat.
3rd down and 10 for Maroa. Here's Roush in motion. Hockaday looking to throw, looking for Krebs, but he throws it wide, and that'll bring up 4th down.
It's kind of what we thought. They motioned across the formation, leaving Krebs one-on-one on the right side, and went down 15 yards. And unfortunately for Maroa, Hockaday couldn't deliver the ball to him, bringing up 4th down.
47 seconds left. 5 receivers, Hockaday all alone in the backfield, and now a whistle. And timeout, perhaps?
Westville was confused on defense, and I think Westville decided rather than run around and try to get things set before the play that's what it was.
That's the final timeout for Westville with 47 seconds left. You have to like the pluckiness of this Westville Tiger team.
Yeah, they've played well. They've got to have some confidence, even with 2 turnovers. Without those 2 turnovers, it might even be a Westville lead at this time, but they've put the ball on the ground twice. But they have played well. They've been physical up front. They've really dominated the line of scrimmage, both offensively and defensively. There's really been 2 big plays by Maroa that have really, that's been the only thing that they've been able to do on offense. So yeah, Westville, I think, is going to go in the locker room. They're going to be encouraged by their first half play.
This Westville defense came up with 3 goal line stands, including a 2-point conversion attempt in the final minute to hold on. And after the game, Jordan Ballard said, "We said in the regular season goal line stands, and this is for the state championship. Never did we think we'd really have to make one to go to the state title game." They're looking at a 4th down right here, trying to make a stop. Hockaday back to throw on 4th down, has a man, it's Jordan Place. Oh, but he can't hang on, and good defense by the Westville Tigers. That's number 2, Alex McMahon with the coverage.
He tries to throw to the corner, he's open, it's just good throw and great defense. It looks like he has it when he hits the ground. The ball pops out. Great effort, both sides there, and that's gonna turn the ball over.
Check that, that was Aaron Johnson with the coverage. So both teams turn it over here in the final 2 minutes of the second quarter. Neither team able to take advantage.
Looks like Westville's going to just down the ball here, content with the tie.
Actually, Westville did take advantage, didn't they? They tied the game.
Kind of surprised here. 41 seconds to go, and although they don't have timeouts, really, you can run a few plays, get the ball out of bounds, and stop the clock on a 1st down, but Westville decides that 14 all is good enough.
And a impressive first half of football and nothing decided yet. 14 all as time runs out on the big clock. Let's go downstairs to Sarah.
Thanks, Lee. Guys, I'm here with Tigers head coach Guy Goodlove. Coach, crazy end of the second half. What helped spur your offense and take advantage of that fumble to score the touchdown?
Well, we just need to hang on to the ball. As long as we hang on to the ball, we can do pretty much anything that we want. We're doing a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage. Take the turnovers away, and we might be up a couple scores. So we're going to go in and show our players how to hang on to the football at halftime. Hopefully we can the second half.
Now, Coach, your defense has been very aggressive. What has helped slow down this Maroa-Forsyth team?
Well, we don't have anything to lose. We're just pinning our ears back and trying to put pressure on that quarterback and trying to disrupt their offense a little bit.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck the second half.
Thank you.
All right, Sarah, thanks a lot. We are tied, Maroa-Forsyth and Westville, for the 2A state championship. 14 all at the half. Back with more right after this.
Here we go. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium, everybody. And you've got a good one here in the Class 2A championship game. Westville, Maroa-Forsyth all tied up at 14. And hi again, everybody. I'm Dave Bernhard. Glad you've joined us. We'll be here all day long today, bringing you expert analysis, stats, highlights, everything you want here in our 4 championship games here today. Well, joining me all day long here will be a couple of young men who know this game awfully well. And first of all, Jason Kirby, the head coach at Sherrard High School, and also I'll be joined by Scott Hamilton from Tolono Unity, both men with experience in this championship game. And Jason, you know, I talk about how great this ball game is. A lot of the coaches wouldn't necessarily think so when you have fumbles and turnovers of that sort, but from a fan standpoint, this is fantastic.
From a fan standpoint, no doubt, it's been a great game. There's been ebb and flow on both sides as far as who's been in control and who has taken the ball in necessary times. The big play's definitely been a big deal for Maroa-Forsyth, and Westville's done a nice job holding on to the ball when they've taken their drives.
Yeah, I think that Maroa's done a great job with Krebs and Hockaday providing some big plays for Maroa and winning the battle in the big play. But Westville's done a great job with the ground control and containing the clock.
Well, and I thought at first actually that the opening drive of the game really established some tempo here. When you talked about Westville, who maybe came into this game as a little bit of an underdog, they just took it right out there and took it right down the field.
I think they used that. I think that they used their underdog status to give them a little bit of an attitude and to take the ball down the field, and they wanted to show a little smash mouth football and prove to their kids that they could run the ball against a good Maroa defense, and they've done that, and their ability to run the ball has actually been their best defense.
Yeah, I know that Westville's played the underdog role since week 1. They came back from Clifton Central in that game late to win that ball game on a play by their quarterback. They went into the Morrison semifinal game last week as a big underdog and came out big in that one.
14-14 here at the half. Westville and Maroa-Forsyth. Let's go downstairs and catch up with our sideline reporter, Sarah Kustok. Sarah?
Thanks, Dave. Well, I'm here with Lucas Thurman, the Sports and Marketing Director for the Champaign County Convention and Visitors Bureau. Now, what do events like these and in others, IHSA football championships, mean to the Champaign County?
It means a great deal to have this many people come to our community and be able to highlight what we have to offer and to showcase our great community, these people. It's a tremendous effort for us, and it's great. It's really good for economic impact, of course. We got so many people coming into our hotel rooms, utilizing our restaurants, and the best part about it is we get to showcase our campus. How many times do you have an opportunity to get this many potential students on campus at one time?
Absolutely, and this is the first year of a newly re-signed 5-year contract.
That's right.
For you guys. Well, what's the implications of that?
I think it's a lot of hard work that we've put in. The U of I does a great job of executing the event, no doubt. They know what they're doing when it comes to football. They do a great job. The fact that we're holding on to this event, the longevity of the event, really shows that we try hard and that this is a great opportunity for us. And I think that just shows the communication and the relationships we've built with IHSA.
Now, did you specially order in this weather so it would be a great day for everyone to come?
I did. I put a personal request in and we got it, and it's fabulous weather. I don't think I've ever had this good weather in the years I've been doing this.
Well, thank you, Lucas. We appreciate all your help and your efforts. Dave, back up to you guys.
Thank you.
We got to bring them out there more when we do the interview because we're breaking up with the mic with the wireless.
Here in this championship game, how much does that play in? Actually, with the fumbles we had in the second quarter.
I think it plays a big.
Halftime at Memorial Stadium in the 2A championship game. 14-14 doesn't get much better than this. We've had turnovers turn into touchdowns, big plays turn into touchdowns, and a long touchdown drive that turns into touchdowns. Tell you what, let's look back at the scoring recap, and his scoring recap is brought to you by Baker Square. Visit Baker Square to make your Christmas pie reservation today or order online at bakersquare.com. Big first quarter early. Robert Krebs catches the 43-yard touchdown pass from Luke Hockaday, quickly a 7-0 lead, and that was only about 3 minutes into this ball game. Then Westville counters with a Caleb Pratt 10-yard touchdown run, capping an 80-yard drive. Extra point, no good. 7-6 was our score. To close out that first quarter, Justin Barnes on a 44-yard run on a reverse that came one play after a fumble recovery for a 14-6 Maroa-Forsyth lead at the end of the first quarter. And then our final scoring in the half came late, and once again it came one play after a fumble recovery. This time Westville jumped all over it. Jordan Barney, a 38-yard touchdown pass from Jacob Atutis, and the two-point conversion pass to Barney was good as well, and that's why we are all locked up 14-14. Our first half statistics, well, you know, the big numbers are 14-14. As we take a look at our Menards first half stats, Menards, we'll get to that in just a second. But you know what? I wanted to talk about the fumble recoveries that have turned into scores. These two teams have gotten big plays, and they've capitalized on those big plays. How important is that?
Well, I think that anytime you get in a game of this magnitude, you get to turnovers, you get to kicking game and those types of things. And both teams have had the good and the bad with the turnovers so far. And I think that the second half will come out with the 0-0 type look at 14-14 and see who can make the big play.
Well, you know, and I was going to say, too, if you look ahead to the second half and you take a look at two teams that have shown they're going to be evenly matched, what does it take here as we close out this game, the final two quarters? What do you see happening here in the final two?
I think Westville, without a doubt, needs to stay with their game plan and running the football and making sure that they control the clock. They've done a nice job except for the two long plays by Maroa in slowing their offense down, and I know that had to be a great concern for them going into the game.
I think the Maroa needs to try to do some things up front on defense to try to put some pressure on Westville and get that ball back. You know, their offense has been very, very good and very quick and explosive, and they got to find a way to get a few more reps and a few more cracks at it.
Let's take a look at the first half statistics here for this game, the semifinal or the championship game in Class 2A. But before we do that, we'll take a break. We'll be back at Memorial Stadium right after this.
And we are back at halftime. Maroa-Forsyth and Westville all tied at 14 here as we get ready to start things up here in Champaign for the second half, and a very well-played ball game. Few mistakes here and there. Take a look at the highlights. Maroa-Forsyth with the quick strikes. This is Luke Hockaday, and finds his favorite receiver, Robert Krebs.
And when we saw that early, we thought maybe this was going to be a track meet kind of game, but they came right back. Here's Westville and scoring. There is Pratt coming in with about an 8-yard gain and touchdown. They missed the extra point. And here's the reverse. Good execution, good blocking out front. 43-yard reverse for a touchdown by the freshman, and that put them up 14-6. And then here this was a great play. We don't get to see the fakes. Made great two play-action fakes, wide open receiver, and great execution again. They made the two-point conversion to tie it up. And here is the two-point conversion. Another great fake by Atutis, and easy delivery, and we have a tied ball game.
And that's the way things stand here, 14-all, as we try to decide a 2A state champion here. And we will send it now to a break and be back with more football coming your way from Champaign right after this.
Do you want us back here?
And our score is tied 14-all as we get ready to start the second half. Let's go down to Sarah Kustok.
Thanks. I'm here with the Trojans head coach, Josh Jostes. Coach, this first half had a couple fumbles, hard time starting up the offense. What did you tell your team at the half?
You know, we play a wide open brand of offense. It did cost us there, maybe a turnover. We haven't had a turnover in the playoffs. Bad time to get one, but you know, it's starting over. 24 minutes to see who's going to be a state champ.
Do you feel like your team ever got into a rhythm?
No, we weren't in a rhythm offensively, and that's our job to do a better job. They had we had the ball 6 minutes of that 24 we just played, so we got to do a better job keeping the ball in our hands. And we made a couple big plays, but now we got to move the chains.
Well, good luck the second half, Coach.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, Sarah, thanks a lot. We just want to correct something very quickly. We had in our initial roster, we had Tyler Roush as number 22 for Maroa, but it is indeed Justin Barnes Jr. So it was Justin Barnes with the touchdown run, and our apologies for that. And we take a look at our Menards halftime statistics. The score 14 all, but Westville with the yardage edge. Look at that balance. 115 rushing, 115 passing.
Yeah, great job both on the offensive side from Westville, mixing up the run and pass. You see the time of possession there at the bottom, 17-6. The turnovers really, Westville could be up a score or two, but they put the ball on the ground. And but obviously Maroa is playing hard, and but it's been a well-played first half, and we're looking forward to a great second half here.
And there you get a look at one of the Tigers' faithful here today. Caleb Pratt, the leading rusher with 98 yards for Westville. The leading rusher for Maroa-Forsyth is Justin Barnes with that 45-yard touchdown run. And really, again, except for those two big plays, the Westville defense has played very admirably here today. Yeah, they've mixed things up. They're bringing linebackers, bringing some corners off the edge, and causing a little bit of confusion for Hockaday back there, and they've been real physical too. You've seen some really good physical play, so it's been really a good, well-played half for Westville. Up next, the 1A state championship as we kind of reverse the order here today. Tuscola and Aledo, and the Green Dragons of Cullen Welter going for yet another state championship. Breeze Mater Dei taking on Driscoll Catholic. The Highlanders going for their 6th state title in a row, which would be unprecedented. Of course, they've won 5 in a row. That was unprecedented. St. Joe Ogden against Plano in our final game tonight in Class 3A. We hope you're enjoying the high school football championship action coming to you from the University of Illinois here on the carpet. And, of course, there's 4 more state championships tomorrow. And we will be with you for those as well. You take a look at the Tigers as they get ready to take the field here in the second half. Well played first half, like Dave Bernhardt said, maybe not from a coaching standpoint with the fumbles, but from a fan standpoint, it's been enjoyable and a good close state championship ball game. And I think that's one thing we as broadcasters always hope for is a good game, don't we? Yeah, and you got 2 good football teams. You may have turnovers because you got good hitting. So it's not surprising you may have a turnover or 2 because you got 2 people playing on the field. And you have to give credit. I mean, the Maroa turnover was definitely caused by the defense, and I think one of the Caleb Pratt turnover, one of the Maroa defenders got a hand in there. So that's going to happen, like you said. It will be Westville ball to start things here in the third quarter, and they have really done a good job, and that's kind of the difference in this game so far. Westville has been able to sustain drives and move the ball up and down the field. Maroa, it's been the 2 quick strikes and maybe not much else. Do they need to commit more to the running game here in the second half, do you think? Yeah, I think so. I think you saw a little bit of success there at the end of the half. Here's an onside kick, and they got it. Great. What a great call. A gutsy call to start the third quarter, and it's picked up by the Trojans, number 56. That is Don Powers, a lineman linebacker. And look at him go get it. Just a great onside kick, perfect, goes about 11 yards. They are right on it. They must have worked that on in practice because that was well executed. And again, good field position, just like they started the game on the Westfield side of the 50. Again, Maroa has the ball in good field position to start the half. 4 receivers for Luke Hockaday as we start here in the third quarter. And that is complete to Troy Davis, diving grab. Couldn't tell initially if it was a catch. It looked like it might have skipped on the carpet. I think the Westville fans below us would
concur with that assessment, but it is a catch for Troy Davis. That's his first catch of the game. 2nd and 5. Hockaday looking to throw again, has it batted down. Jeremy Lechka, the junior, with a hand on that one. We've seen them do that a couple of times today, get their hands up and bat down a Hockaday pass attempt.
As a defensive lineman, when they throw a quick pass, if you can't get to the quarterback, you're taught to stay back and time your jump and knock the pass down. They've had 2 knockdowns today. Hockaday's been going to the quick pass, trying to take away some of the advantage of the blitzing defense from Westville.
Conaway stands next to Hockaday, only 33 yards for Conaway in the first half. Here's the handoff to him. He finds some running room up the middle, down to the 30, inside the 30, and down at the 27-yard line for Shane Conaway. 15 yards, and we talked about maybe committing to the run, and that's where Josh Jostis and the Trojans go this time.
Yeah, there was a nice hole in the middle. The middle linebackers there came in, missed Conaway, and then he makes a great run, good spin, gets some extra yards, good field position again inside the 30.
And Josh Jostis will talk about Shane Conaway and tell you that semifinal game we went to a couple of years ago, he was 145 pounds as a sophomore. He's added 30 pounds of muscle here into his senior year. Conaway, the fake handoff is Hockaday, and he's down at about the 22-yard line. A pickup of 5 on the keeper for Luke Hockaday, who has 3 rushing touchdowns and averages 6 yards a carry this season for the Trojans.
Yeah, it was a nice tackle there, one-on-one by Eli Williams. He came up and made a great play on Hockaday and limited him only a 4-yard gain. Looked like it was going to go for much more.
Tigers defensive coaches calling in a play. 3 receivers right for Hockaday to the near side, and now Austin Place is the man in motion. Hockaday. Now Davis with the catch, and he's brought down at the 20-yard line. And a pickup of about 3. Check that, it was Robert Krebs with the catch. His 3rd catch of the afternoon.
They try running a quick screen out here. Nice throw, delivery. You got some linemen out here blocking, but great pursuit on defense. A great play, limiting the offense to only a 3-yard gain.
3rd and 3. Maroa-Forsyth looking to capitalize on that onside kick to start the 3rd quarter. Pressure. Hockaday brought down at the 20-yard line. Jake Howe with the sack. He had 2 sacks in the Westville win over Georgetown Ridge Farm in the playoffs.
Hockaday looks right here. He doesn't see his receivers open, and there's nothing he can do. The pocket collapses. Good pressure there by the Westville defense. Hockaday's having some trouble finding receivers and then allowing the defense to get to him.
Seth Moody was right there as well, and it brings up 4th and 4, and the Trojans will go for it with 9:08 to go here in the 3rd quarter of this 2A state championship game. Hockaday to Davis. He's hit very close to the first down and brought down, driven back, but he's going to be short. Well, actually, it looks like they'll have to measure. Take another look.
Quick pass over here to the right. You can see coming inside. There it is. Zaire makes a great hit and allows no forward progress. He was right at the line. If he falls forward, he likely gets it. I think he's going to be a little bit short.
We'll just see how good your eyesight is, partner. And you are correct, sir. Bend but don't break for the Westville defense.
Big play on defense there. Zaire just stepped up there, met him face to face. If he falls forward, he gets the first, and they push him back. And turnover now on downs. Big play.
Westville will take over on their own 18-yard line, and of course we saw them drive 80 yards earlier in this game, and that was into the wind. They have what wind there is. It looks like the wind has died down just a little bit here if you look at the flag in the north end zone. Jacob Atudis under center, the handoff to Pratt. He bounces to the outside, but he's dragged down in a nice defensive play that time for the Trojans. Bo Sullivan with the tackle. Austin Place was there as well.
gives the Pratt, the play's designed to go to the right. He cuts all the way back, play stays home. Nice job bringing down Pratt. Not an easy guy to bring down one-on-one, but Place does a nice job.
It was actually Place with the tackle, and Bo Sullivan there to make sure to close the deal. A loss of 1, 2nd and 11 for the Tigers as the Maroa defense looks to step up a little bit here. That offside kick did not produce any points. Backs are split this time. Atutis back to throw, pumps, and then has a man with a hand on his jersey and throws it incomplete.
Atutis got away with it. I think he really didn't have a receiver in the area. He just did not want to take the sack. And I think because he was being held with his jersey, they gave him the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
But that could have easily been an intentional grounding call.
Brings up 3rd and 11. So the Westville offense hasn't moved. They've gone the wrong direction here with 8:07 to go in the 3rd. 14-14 ball game. Passing situation here on 3rd and 11 for Atutis. 3-year varsity starter lobs it up to the right side to Eli Williams, and broken up there by Robert Krebs. He's going to the UIC to play basketball, and he showed his ups on that play.
Just a little bit underthrown. Krebs goes up, nice extension, makes a nice play. If he doesn't get that, we might add 6 points, but Krebs does a nice job and saves the first down and potentially more.
So that'll bring up 4th and 11. Alex McMahon back to punt. Pratt and Williams stand at their own 42-yard line looking into the sun. The kick is away, and it's a pretty good one. Actually, that's Troy Davis was back that time. He brings it out to the 48-yard line where the Trojans will take over 1st and 10. Kick of 43, 9 yards on the return. 7:51 to go here in the 3rd, and we are tied, and after a couple of possessions, no blood for either team.
Both defenses make big stops to start the half, and usually when you get into the championship games, defense is what brings home the titles, and we're seeing 2 good defenses now establishing themselves.
Trips receivers right this time for Luke Hockaday. Makes the handoff, keeps it himself, has a little room outside, and is brought down just short of the 50-yard line. Gain of about 3. And that's one thing Josh Jostis said this week, was that Luke Hockaday has been running more as they've got deeper into the playoffs. More of a pocket passer early in the year. The Trojans have turned the ball over on downs their last 2 possessions. They try to get something going here. Now they put the 3 receivers to the far side of the field. And a little option play here. The pitch is to Justin Barnes, who scored that touchdown earlier, a gain of 12.
It's a well-designed play here. It looks like he's going to pitch the option to the right, but he does the shuffle pass forward. It's a tough play. It puts a lot of pressure on the defensive end. He has to choose. The quarterback could keep it, he could pitch it to his right, or he could pitch it forward on the shuffle pass, and he did that. Nice game. Well-designed play.
1st and 10 for the Trojans from the 39-yard line now. Hockaday will keep it again, and that's just what Josh Jostis told us earlier this week.
People key so much on Conaway because he has over 2,000 yards that gives him an opportunity, Hockaday, an opportunity to run the football.
Well, against Rushville Industry in the quarterfinals, Hockaday actually went over 100 yards rushing and then finished with 82 after losing yardage on a couple of sacks. But he is very capable of running the football, and he's showing it here in the 3rd quarter. And the official wants time, maybe an equipment problem for Eli Williams. He trots to the sideline. And they'll have to bring in somebody to replace him. Maybe he's bleeding. I think that's what it is. There you get a look at him. Wearing the mohawk.
Nice mohawk. That's right.
Here's Hockaday on 2nd and 8. And that's complete at the 31-yard line. Troy Davis with another catch on the near sideline. You can hear the Westville fans. Now they're calling it incomplete.
The back judge had a better angle. The back judge saw that it was the ball skipped on the ground and called it incomplete.
So it'll be 3rd and 8. Maroa with the onside kick to start the 3rd quarter. They got the possession. Nothing to show for it. They are gaining in the battle of field position, but nothing to show for it so far. That pass is complete to Krebs. Steps inside, and he's still on his feet and dives and falls at the 16-yard line. A pickup of 21 for Robert Krebs. And look at the dance moves.
Great run after the catch. Krebs, good protection, delivers the ball. Strike right in the numbers. 1, 2 moves. 3, great block there. Look at these moves, good quickness. Excellent effort by Robert Krebs. Here's another look at it from another angle.
And he didn't have to dribble.
Yeah.
He just signed to play college basketball with the UIC Flames last Wednesday. 1st and 10 now on the 16. The Trojans threatening here. Pass is complete to Krebs. He's down inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line. The game against Rushville, Krebs had 4 touchdown catches on 8 catches, 215 yards. They tried to play him in man coverage, and you just can't stop him like that. 2nd and 1. Hockaday will throw again. Looking for Barnes. One hand on it, but couldn't control. Justin Barnes, who had that end around run in the first half for a touchdown. Let's take another look.
It's good effort. Outstretched hands, just out of his reach. Good effort, nice throw. Actually not bad coverage, but just a little bit out of his reach. Brings up 3rd and short here. Took a chance to get in the end zone. Now they'll probably try to get the first down here with a run.
All eyes will be on Conaway.
Yep.
Instead, Hockaday will throw. Throwing into the end zone, and must have been a miscommunication. Krebs was nowhere near the ball, and that brings up 4th and 1. 75 yards this half for Maroa-Forsyth. And they are much closer now in the yardage battle. It was 230 to 144 at halftime in favor of Westville. It's now 229 to 219. So the Trojans have been able to do what Westville did in the first half, move the ball up and down the field. They just haven't been able to get it in the end zone here in the 3rd quarter. 5:06 to play in the 3rd. It's 4th and 1. Hockaday under center. The pitch is to Conaway. He has room. He has first down and more. He's in for the score. Shane Conaway, his 37th touchdown of the season, and this one puts Maroa-Forsyth on top 20-14 in the state championship game.
Little power football from Maroa. You don't see that very often, but they came up in a power formation and a quick pitch and a nice effort by Conaway to break some tackles to get into the end zone.
Alex Chilligris for the point after. He's perfect on the day, and it's 21-14 Maroa-Forsyth with 5:01 to go in the 3rd quarter here in Champaign. A 21-14 lead for Maroa-Forsyth. Their main man, Shane Conaway, bouncing off tacklers and diving in for the 7-yard touchdown run.
It was a good call. They came up quickly to the line of scrimmage and didn't allow the Westville defense to adjust. They went a little power. Two backs in the backfield, set out to the right, a quick pitch, and the rest was Conaway finding a way to get into the end zone.
Great crowd on hand here today for our 2A state championship game on a sunny, breezy day here in Champaign. The Tigers ready to pounce. Don't know that they'll try the onside kick this time. They don't. That ball, like a wedge, just sat there at the 18-yard line. Picked up by Caleb Pratt, brought out to the 25, where the Tigers will take over. Trailing 21-14 with 4:57 to go here
in the third. The Tigers need to get back to what they were able to do in the first half. They haven't been able to do that since the intermission.
Yeah, it's time for them to answer the call now, and they were pounding the ball early with Caleb Pratt in the first half. They need to establish him again to start moving the change, control the clock, and get points on the board.
We always keep an eye on number 40, Eli Williams, as well. He is kind of a secret weapon. Everybody expects. Oh, that pass is tipped and picked off. Bo Sullivan with the interception for Maroa, and another turnover hurting Westville here. And now Jacob Atudis getting in the face of one of his linemen as they walk off the field, not happy with the results there.
Big plays in big games, and this is a big one. The three-step drop and throws it out to the sidelines. Great job by the defensive lineman, and it's going to give some great field position again here for Maroa.
2 fumbles and now an interception for the Tigers. Maroa takes over on the 28. Hockaday the pitch to Conaway. He's got room to the left side, spins back inside, meets a host of tacklers and is brought down at the 21-yard line.
There's a good look at the option running out to the left, and execution by Hockaday. He had the defensive lineman took him, pitched it out. It looked like it was going to be a huge game, but good pursuit by the defense from Westville.
Trips receivers left on 2nd and 3. Hockaday the pitch to Conaway to the right side this time. He tries to turn the corner and can't. And that'll be no gain that time for Shane Conaway, the senior running back. 136 yards and 3 touchdown runs in the semifinal win against KZ Westfield last week. Third and 3. This time the pitch is inside to Austin Place. He has a first down and more down at the 12-yard line. First down Trojans at the 12.
Here's that shuffle pass again. It looks like he's going to pitch to the right, but then he pitches it forward to Place. Nice blocking, good move. First down, move the chains. Definitely sense Maroa now getting in rhythm and offense. Just the thing that they couldn't do in the first half, and that's what coach wanted to do. That's what he said before he went in the locker room. They wanted to get some rhythm, and they started to do that.
You saw the numbers for Austin Place, 343 yards rushing. He's also got 429 yards receiving coming into this game, a vital part of this Maroa-Forsyth offense. Hockaday again. This time the give is to Krebs, and he's got room. One man to beat. Davis with the block, but he's going to be flagged for the hold. That will come back. Davis had his man locked up and is flagged for the hold. And Krebs made it to the end zone, but that is coming back. Troy Davis.
Yep. They're going to get Troy Davis
was
out
the last blocker out there, and he had his man locked up, and they say he held. So that will negate the touchdown run by Robert Krebs.
Here it is. It looks like they're going to run one of the options, the shuffle, and they run the reverse. No one out there except you got Troy Davis out there blocking.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay first down.
Davis was out there on an island. The whole stadium could see him blocking that corner out there, and unfortunately he held him a little too long. It's tough to do when you're out there all alone. Got to block those corners.
Krebs had lots of room to run, but it comes back. 1st and 10 now from the 12. The handoff inside. No, it's Hockaday with a nice fake. Krebs with the catch, and the touchdown. Nice move by Robert Krebs. Basketball, that would be a baseline move. He sidestepped a man and scores. And now it's a 27-14 lead for Maroa as they score 13 unanswered points here in the third. 12 yards on the touchdown. Alex Chilligris for the point after. It's up and good, and it's 28-14. Maroa with a couple of third quarter touchdowns to take the lead with 3:27 left in the third here in Champaign. Here's another look at the Maroa touchdown as they take a 28-14 lead. Hockaday to Krebs.
You see these great moves. Caleb Pratt is no slouch on defense, but Krebs made him look a little bad on that by just that quickness. And Maroa has really come out this half and executed and done the things necessary. We're talking about time of possession at the break. Maroa-Forsyth has had the ball for over 7 minutes, 7 minutes and 18 seconds, and only 1 minute and 14 seconds in this quarter for Westville. It's been all Maroa in this quarter.
It's almost like the team switched jerseys at halftime, because Westville had time of possession edge 17-12 to 6:48 in the first half, as Chilligris kicks a bouncer down the middle, and it's picked up by Eli Williams and brought out across the 35. It'll be marked at the 35. 15-yard return for Eli Williams. Let's go downstairs to Sarah Kusta.
Of difference between these two sidelines. On the Tigers side, they're quiet. And when you go over to the Trojans side, there is electric energy. They were jumping, they're running around, giving high fives. The difference between playing to win and playing not to lose. We'll see what happens.
All right, Sarah, Westville tries to get something going to get their crowd up on their feet. Man in motion is Jordan Barney. Here's the give. This time Eli Williams now pitches to Caleb Pratt. Little razzle-dazzle out of the Tigers to get their offense jump-started here in the third quarter. And that's a pickup of 11 and a Tigers first down.
Here's the give to Williams. He's coming down. He pitches it like the option for an extra 7-8 yards. Well executed, well-designed plays. I've been really impressed with Westville, some of their plays. Coach Goodlove's had some really creative plays calls this game. They needed a spark, too, and that was good to get a first down there from Westville. This is a big drive for them to get back in this football game.
First and 10 from the 46. Backs in the eye. Gives to Caleb Pratt. Offensive line doing a nice job there. And close to another first down. He's about a yard short after a pickup of 9.
Westville doesn't really want to panic here and try to get things score too quick. They still like to move the ball, keep the game close, keep the game clock moving. They need to get a score, get right back in this game, and then play good defense. You don't want to get in a track meet with Maroa. That's the thing. You don't want to score because you won't win that game against these guys.
Caleb Pratt now over 100 yards on the afternoon. 2:35 to go here in the third. Westville trying to answer. Caleb Pratt, no, that's Eli Williams this time. Now he reverses field, and he does this quite often and does it very well. He has a first down. Look at that move by Eli Williams, and that's where Guy Goodlove says he reminds me of Gale Sayers. He's shifty, changes directions quickly. When he touches the ball, he makes the most of his opportunities. Boy, did he do that here.
Great vision. He saw he had nothing, and then some great blocks, and did everything he could. He got like a 4 or 5 yard gain. He probably ran 45, but it's worth it. They got the first down and moved the chains.
First and 10 from the 41. Clock winding down here. Third quarter action, 28-14 Maroa-Forsyth. Here's the give to Pratt. He jumps through and picks up about 4. Yeah, when I talked to Guy Goodlove earlier this week, he talked about Eli Williams and his ability to do what he just did, reverse direction and pick up big yardage, and that, you don't teach that.
No. That's something that's instinctive, and you can't get runners like that. You want to let them go. It's like, no, yes.
Right. 2nd and 7. Ball on the 38 for Westville. Both teams 13-0. Here's Caleb Pratt, first down yardage, brought down inside the 30.
Here's a good look at the play again. They've run this stretch play real well. Linemen get out front, and just a nice run, nice effort from Pratt, and another 10-yard run for him. He's had a real nice game. Those guys up front are opening up the holes.
124 yards for Caleb Pratt. He's now gone over 100 yards in 13 of the Tigers' 14 games this season. Extremely consistent, and a big pat on the back to his big hogs up front, the offensive lineman. Here's the give to him again. Pratt tries to bounce it outside. Good pursuit that time, as Krebs, Bo Sullivan bring him down at the 28-yard line. No gain that time for Caleb Pratt.
Nice job stringing it out, that's called. The defense, they maintain their position and they string that play out along the line of scrimmage. Just good pursuit and nice defense forcing a 2nd and long.
You look at the matchups of the running backs. Caleb Pratt has twice as much yardage as Shane Conaway, who came into the game with 2,000 yards. It's 126 to 62 in favor of Caleb Pratt. However, Maroa has the important number, that lead on the scoreboard. 2nd and 8. Pratt to the outside. Makes a move, bounces outside, and dives for the first down. It'll be close. And will depend on the spot with 21 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. It is a first down. So the Tigers getting back into that offensive rhythm that we saw them in the 1st and 2nd quarters.
It's a good place right here with 21 seconds. The wind's picked up a little bit. This is a good place here from one of those play action passes that Atutis has had early in the game.
50 yards on the ground this drive for the Tigers. Looking to make it a 1-touchdown ball game. Give to the up man is Barney. The 6'1" junior. Not called upon to run it very often, but he's effective when he does. 14 yards a carry, the average, coming into this ball game. And we played 3 quarters. Westville on a drive, trying to get back in this ball game. Maroa-Forsyth, the 28-14 lead. And welcome back to Champaign. 12 minutes of football left to decide a 2A state champion. It's Maroa-Forsyth with a 28-14 lead, 14 unanswered 3rd quarter points for the Trojans as they take the lead going into the 4th quarter. But Westville is driving here. The Tigers getting their crowd up and trying to get into the end zone and make this a 1-touchdown game. Oh, there's a nice hairdo. That's nice. Enthusiastic fans on both sides of the field here this afternoon. 9th play of the drive for Westville. Reminiscent of their first half drive. They went 80 yards earlier in this game. There's their power eye. Here's the give to Williams. He eludes one tackler, bounces outside, hits a man head on. Took Robert Krebs head on, and he's down at the 2-yard line. Pickup of 13 for Eli Williams. We talked about him. He's kind of the secret weapon. People like to key on Caleb Pratt, but Eli Williams is one heck of a runner, as you see here.
He's got great moves, great speed right here, and he's got some toughness too. You'll see him lower his shoulder here, take it to the defense, get down to the 1.5-yard line.
He had 2 touchdowns in the win over Morrison last week, and really impressed with what we saw from him on tape in that ball game. 1st and goal for the Tigers. Pratt is the deep man. The give is to Williams. He's stuffed at the 2-yard line. Not much of a gain there, if any at all. And it'll bring up 2nd down for Westville.
Got a tough spot on that. They didn't mark him on forward progress. They marked him to where he actually got taken down and lost 1.5 yards.
2nd and goal from the 3rd, from the 3. Jacob Atutis under center. Jordan Ballard is the up back, a lineman in that formation. Here's Pratt. He's very close to a touchdown, but just short. He thought he might have gotten in. He's looking around and, hey, that's a touchdown, isn't it? Take another look.
He was close. They just run the lead to the left. He thinks he's going to get in, but just right there with the extra effort on the defense, they hold him out. He fouls his fullback, Jordan Barney. Gets real close to the goal line, but nice pursuit and nice effort, push from the defense.
Cody Mauzé, leading tackler for Maroa, in on that tackle. 3rd and goal. Atudis keeps it, and he's in. Jacob Atudis, the senior quarterback, bowls it in from a yard out. And it's an 8-point ball game pending this point after. He's another basketball, football player, and Guy Goodlove says he can't make a free throw. He can stand out here and throw the ball 65 yards on a dime, but can't make a free throw. Well, Tigers are going for 2.
Yeah, he's got to make a 2-point play here. Not a 2-point basket, but a 2-point play.
Right.
This is a big play right here in this game.
First time we've seen this formation. Fakes the handoff, looks for Williams, he's covered. Now looks in the end zone the other way to Pratt, and the 2-point conversion is good for Westville. And now they are within 6 with 10:06 left in this ball game. It's Maroa-Forsyth holding on to a 28-22 lead here in the 2A title game in Champaign. And it's a 1-touchdown game again. Greg Bradshaw, Jacob Atudis, former quarterback. You like to see that, don't you?
It's a scrum in there. Here's a 2-point play. This is like drawn in the dirt. This play was designed to go to the left, but Atudis had to roll out of the pocket, had some pressure, and found his friend Caleb Pratt, and that was a big play now. Now you kind of know that there's that 6-point gap now, and that gives a lot of momentum and excitement to the Westville fans and their team.
Jordan Barney to kick off. Fielded there by the up man is Barnes, and he's brought down at the 25-yard line, where Maroa will take over and try and eat a little time off the clock, get in the end zone one more time here.
It's kind of been a game of momentum, back and forth. Now it's back, the pressure's now on Maroa-Forsyth offense here, and the Westville defense.
28-22, 4 wideouts for the Trojans. Conaway stands back with Hockaday, who calls the signals, might have changed the play. Handoff, no, keeps it himself, and he'll gain about 3.
Good defensive play.
Stats recap brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Through 3 quarters, there were the stats. Now it's 28-22, and Maroa adding to their numbers a little bit there in the 3rd quarter, getting the time of possession. Still down 7 minutes in time of possession, but up by 6 on the scoreboard with 9:27 to play here in this 2A state championship. Hockaday gives his time to Conaway, and Conaway has a first down, brought down at the 37-yard line.
That's their favorite play. They like to give it to Conaway on the delay, and he has a nice gain here. Good job up front, spreading the defense out, and then bring Conaway up the middle on the delay.
6 touchdown effort in a win over Warrensburg Latham earlier this year. 4 on the ground, 1 receiving, and 1 kickoff return for a touchdown for Shane Conaway. 2,059 yards coming into this ball game. He now has 71. Hockaday to throw. Has a man, it's Kreps, and he's close to another Trojans first down, and he will have it at the 48-yard line. Pickup of 11.
The quick passing game by Hockaday. He catches the snap, sets his feet, delivers the ball quickly before the defensive lineman can get to him, and a nice gain.
Hockaday signed early. Eastern Illinois offered in May. We saw yesterday what an Eastern Illinois quarterback can do. Tony Romo leading the Cowboys to victory on Thanksgiving Day. First and 10 from the 48. Hockaday keeps it himself, almost brought down, and he is. Is that Jake Howe?
Here it is. Fakes to Conaway, tries to keep it, but didn't fake out Howe. Does a nice job tripping him up for a 4-yard loss. Big play, and that's what they need right now. Westville's defense has to come up big here in this drive. Give their offense a chance to take the lead.
The Tigers had 7 sacks in their win over Salt Fork in the playoffs. 2nd and 14. Place in motion. Here's the pitch to Krebs. He comes back inside and has plenty of room to run. Now he keeps bouncing outside and stays on his feet. Brought down at the 38-yard line. Pickup of 15. That was a fun play to watch. Krebs comes back in.
Quick screen out here to the left. The motion man comes out. And here comes Krebs across the entire field, makes some great moves, gets some blocking. And Krebs showing his quickness. He's got some speed and quickness. It's really been tough for that defensive backfield of Westville to handle.
This is a guy that's got a college basketball scholarship, and Josh Joseph says tremendous sacrifice for him to be out here playing football after he's got that college basketball scholarship. Hockaday keeps it, dives forward for maybe a gain of 1, if that.
Good defensive pressure there. Ran the option to the right, and defensive linemen got off their blocks and made great stop.
No gain that time for Hockaday, brings up 2nd and 10. (28-22), clock ticking, 6:49 to play here in the 4th quarter. Barnes is the man in motion. Hockaday pumps, fakes, throws. It's Barnes again. He has it at the 20 and brought down at the 17-yard line. And another first down for the Trojans. Pickup of 21 on the pass completion to Justin Barnes.
You see Barnes going in motion. He runs to the flat, then right straight up the sideline. The corner takes the man on the curl. He goes up the sidelines, gets a nice gain.
Barnes with his 3rd catch of the afternoon.
Little pump fake there by Hockaday, delivers a strike. Nice run after the catch.
So many weapons for this Maroa-Forsyth team. You can say Conaway's got 2,059 yards coming in, but plenty of help to go with that. Give inside and not much there for Conaway. Clock continues to run. Time growing shorter for Westville. Second and 10 from the 18 for Maroa-Forsyth. Three receivers to the near side for Hockaday. Looks to the right side instead. Krebs was calling for it. He has it. Barney knocks him out of bounds inside the 1-yard line. 16-yard pitch and catch. Hockaday to his favorite receiver, Robert Krebs.
Hockaday takes 2 quick steps, delivers the ball right on the money. Krebs got behind Pratt there, and the ball's delivered right. You can see why Eastern's going to love this kid playing for them. He delivers the ball right on the money. Get the ball inside the 1. Hockaday's been very impressive in the second half. He's been executing, delivering the ball.
Maroa now ahead in the yardage battle, 338 to 294, and it was a 230 to 144 advantage for Westville at the half. Here's the give to Conaway, dives and he's in for the score. Shane Conaway with the touchdown. And that makes it 34-22 Maroa with 5:20 left in this ball game. Second touchdown of the game for Conaway, and a Westville player is down. And slow to get up for the Tigers is Corey Dicken, 5'9" sophomore.
Well, that was a good drive by Maroa. They just did whatever they needed to do. They passed the ball, they run the ball. They kept mixing things up and got the score to put them up 2. It's going to be tough now with 5 minutes to go for Westville to come back.
Check that. That's number 72, Devin Gay, 6'2" senior. Slow to get up. He limps to the sideline for Westville. 4 possessions this half for Maroa-Forsyth. 3 of them have resulted in touchdowns.
Yeah, they made some adjustments at halftime. Came out with the quick passing game and established Conaway on the run, and also Hockaday's run the ball as well. And they have done a great job taking advantage of the Westville defense this half.
Second touchdown of the day for Shane Conaway, 38 for the season. And the Trojans will go for 2 here. Hockaday, and it's complete. Barnes was wide open, and that makes it 36-22. It makes it a 14-point game again for Maroa-Forsyth. There is a flag. We'll stay here. There's a flag on the play.
It's going to be roughing the passer against Westville.
Back on the defense. The 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
And we'll have the kickoff when we return. 5:20 left, 36-22, Maroa-Forsyth with the lead. And we are back, and our defensive play of the game is brought to you by the Illinois Army National Guard. 1-800-GO-GUARD. And that's Bo Sullivan with the pickoff for Maroa-Forsyth earlier in this ball game, and they lead it now 36-22. This game was tied 14-all at the half. And that will be a touchback. The 15-yard roughing the passer penalty assessed on the kickoff. So it will be Westville ball, and the Tigers are up against it here, down 14 with 5:20 to play.
You'll see them in their shotgun offense. They have shotgun in their package, and they'll try to get the ball to Williams, I would suspect, and try to get a big play here to get right back in it. They have 5 minutes to score 2 touchdowns, so they've got their work cut out for them.
Tigers begin on their own 20. They drove it 80 yards in the first half. They need to do it here to have a chance in this game. Atutis back to throw. Looking late down the middle. That's always bad news. Boy, that's one of those things you hear all the time if you watch football at all. Don't throw late down the middle.
Yeah, that was one of the rules. Here he goes. He goes back. He's actually getting hit as he throws it. Almost intercepted.
Bo Sullivan almost had his second pick of the day, and probably figures he should have. Boy, and you know, you talk to Josh Josephs about these linebackers. You got Kyle Sparks, a junior, Cody Mauze, a junior, Bo Sullivan, a sophomore. Says they have a chance to be really good next year. They're physical, they run well, good group, probably the best linebacking group he's had, and they're going to get better, and they'll play together again next year. Atutis back to throw, more pressure. Maroa, and finally brought down by Andrew Mills, big number 78, 6'3", 270-pound senior. The big hoss gets in there and drags Atutis down. 3 possessions this half for Westville. 1 punt, a turnover, and 1 touchdown for the Tigers. So the Maroa defense, give them credit. They stepped up here in the second half when this ball game was on the line and made the plays they needed to play.
Yeah, the defense has done well, but really the story of this half has been Maroa's offense coming out in rhythm, controlling the football, time of possession. They've had the ball and kept the ball out of the hands of Westville. And you know, this second half, Hockaday's been fantastic. He's 12 of 16 for 141 yards in this half only. So he really stepped it up this half and really has led this team to get this lead.
Westville takes timeout with the ball on their own 12-yard line. Boy, that field looks awfully long to them right now.
Well, they haven't played from behind too often, and they haven't thrown the ball a lot this season. They've put the shotgun package in, but they haven't had to rely on it, so now they've got a little bit of a challenge here.
Here's our Chevy Drive of the game, brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. Shane Conaway putting the exclamation point on the Maroa-Forsyth drive with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the two-point conversion was added for a 36-22 lead in this 2A state championship. And, you know, you talk about these programs. We talked about them. Maroa in the semifinals a couple of years ago, Westville in the semifinals last year. It's a process, and Maroa able to get things done here today after being so close a couple of years ago. 4:43 left in this one. Atutis in the shotgun. Looking for, picked off by Torrey Stedney. And that will just about do it for the Trojans with 4:36 left.
Here's a play at Atutis. They're setting up the hook and ladder. He's going to throw it over here. He was going to pitch it right there to Pratt coming up, but the ball just trickled off his hands, and Stedney did a nice job picking it off and pretty much sealing the game now for Maroa-Forsyth.
Aaron Johnson, number 2, just 5'7". Guy Goodlove says he's not real big, but plays with a big heart. Couldn't reach that one. Maroa-Forsyth does. So that's 2 interceptions and flags on the play here before we get underway.
Looks like they got 12 men on the field, Westville.
That's one too many, isn't it?
Yep. Doesn't look like they have 12 men on the field. I don't know if that.
I'm counting 12 right now.
We're dead ball. We got both teams on the field with 12 players. There's no yardage involved. It'll be first down.
Well, both.
As long as they agree. As long as both coaches agree we're going to play with 12, I guess it's okay. It's not okay with the refs, though, but.
How many do they play with in Canadian football? Is that a new thing?
I don't know.
1st and 10 from the 17. Maroa looking to put things away here and take home a state championship after making it to the semifinals 2 years ago. Here's the pitch, Conaway. And he's brought down inside the 10.
It's the first time we've seen Maroa-Forsyth under center, and they do a nice job running the option for a first down.
So it'll be 1st and goal from the 7 for Maroa-Forsyth. The Trojans finished 2nd in Class 1A in 1981. That's back in our day.
Yeah, the old days. 83 they were down here too.
Finished 2nd under Fred Thompson in Class 1A. And Josh Jostis has them 3:55 away from a state championship. Here's Austin Place. Balling inside the 5. Big month for head coach Josh Jostis of the Maroa-Forsyth Trojans. They added a member of their family. He's got 2 boys, 6 and 4, and 4-week-old Bryn.
She's going to get a
state championship ring.
Yeah, she is.
As if things weren't busy enough.
That's right.
To open the playoffs, Bryn comes along. She is the newest Maroa-Forsyth Trojan. 2nd and 4, and a whistle and flags. with 3:11 left in this one. Well, after Maroa-Forsyth defeated Seidel Jamaica Salt Fork, Brian Plotner, their head coach, said, "I've said it 1,000 times, and I'll say it 1,001. They should win state," and it looks like Coach Plotner is correct. Conaway brought down at the 2. No gain, and it'll bring up 3rd down. So Westville's not ready to concede anything just yet. You like to see that as they keep playing. You know, they're not giving up anything. They know they're down. They know they're up against the wall, and they're probably not going to win this game, barring some sort of miracle. But they're still out there making the effort here in the final minutes of this championship game.
Well, it can be done. I mean, you can get a fumble and run it back for a touchdown and be right back in this game. It can be done, and Westville has not lost yet this year, and they're not giving up to the final gun sounds.
Hockaday back to throw, rolling right. Barnes with the diving catch, and it's another touchdown for the Maroa-Forsyth Trojans. The 3rd touchdown pass of the day for Luke Hockaday.
Hockaday's had a great half and caps it off there with a nice play action fake and roll, and under pressure delivered a strike for another 6 points.
This would make it a 21-point game. Chilligris with the extra point. 43-22 with 2:19 left. That's what stands between Maroa-Forsyth and accepting that state championship trophy as we take another look here.
Here's the play action fake, just the roll, delivers the ball right on the money. Nice catch, 6 points. Really the final blow of the game, and they know it now that they are going to be the 2A state championship team for 2006.
Justin Barnes, 1 touchdown rushing, 1 touchdown receiving. Luke Hockaday, 17 for 26 passing, 216 yards in this ball game. Really turned it on after halftime.
Yeah, he did. He had the 2 big plays. Well, they had 1 big pass and the reverse in the first half, and then second half they got in rhythm, the short passing game, and mixing in with some good runs, and we really saw the potent Maroa-Forsyth offense second half.
"34 plays this half for Maroa-Forsyth, Greg. 29 points. That's efficient. And Chilligris kicks it off, and it's fielded by Caleb Pratt. He hands it off to Eli Williams, who takes it out across the 20 to the 22-yard line. 1A state football championship coming up next. Tuscola and Aledo. We'll have it for you right here on the IHSA TV network.
That Aledo team beating Westville last year in the semifinals.
That is correct. 50-14, and that was a real motivator for the Tigers coming into this season. I think it was 50-0 at halftime. Atutis, and that pass is incomplete. And you have to be impressed with the job Guy Goodlove has done in 12 years. And we talked about building a program, and he says, it's become a neat thing to be a football player in Westville, and that wasn't always the case. We talked about the 2 winning seasons in 26 before he got there, and they've kind of turned the attitude around, and you can see that pride as they have made it here to the state championship game, and they'll take home a second place trophy here today.
Yeah, they've had a great season, and they will build on this. They have some talent coming back as well, so we might hear more about Westville in the future.
Here's the handoff to Pratt. He's just a junior and loses his footing at the 20 and a flag on the play. 2:02 left here in this one. Maroa will finish 14-0. Undefeated state champions. And the penalty is against Westville. Wait for the call from our gentleman in the stripes.
Pushing the back on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. Replay, second down.
So it'll be 2nd and 23 for Westville as time winds down here in this 2A state championship game. 1:53 to play. And you have to be impressed with the way we talked earlier about Maroa not playing any close games this year, and when their backs were against the wall, they stood up and took care of business as Eli Williams gets the big gain out across the 25.
Yeah, they didn't have to play 4 quarters in any football game this year, and really today Westville in the first half really dominated the line of scrimmage, dominated really the game, even though it was a tie ball game. Westville easily could have been up at least 1 score because they had 2 turnovers, but Maroa sure at halftime Coach Jostis must have said the right things, because they came out and they were a completely different football team, and they really have dominated start to finish of the second half.
Third and 6 for the Tigers. That's Pratt, bounces off a would-be tackler, and now he's got some room across the 50 into Maroa territory, still on his feet, looking to make something big happen here, and goes backwards after crossing the 50. Gain of 24. I guess you don't get forward progress when you start running the wrong way, do you?
Yeah, he watched Eli Williams do this earlier, so he wanted to do it too. But this is a great execution. They're expecting pass, so the run gets him some yards, and you can see he's got it past the 50, but trying to make something big happen. And he runs the wrong way, but it's worth trying to make a big play at this point in the game.
Westville takes a timeout with 42 seconds left as Guy Goodlove will get some reserves into this state championship ball game, so they can say that they played in the state championship. And a standing ovation from the Westville crowd just below us here at Memorial Stadium as their starters come to the sidelines. They don't get a state championship, but what a season for Westville, an unprecedented 13-1 year. As you take a look at the rest of our lineup here today, Tuscola and Aledo coming up next for the Class 1A state championship. Jim Spencer, Steve Mays will bring you that one. Breeze Mater Dei tries to derail the train from Driscoll Catholic with 5 straight state championships, and St. Joe, Ogden, and Plano to follow, and 4 more state championships will be decided here tomorrow at Memorial Stadium. We hope you'll join us for those telecasts as well here on the IHSA TV network. What a thrill it is for us to be here and watch these state championship games and bring them to you. Greg Bradshaw, Lee Hall, 42 seconds to play in this one. As the reserves come in and get added to the stats. And that, he's not on the roster.
No, we don't have him on the roster.
We don't have a 47. Good for you, 47. 13 seconds to go in this one, and the Maroa-Forsyth crowd is on their feet as well. And that will bring an end to this ball game. 43-22, the Maroa-Forsyth Trojans are your 2A state champions. A complete clinic by Maroa-Forsyth here in the second half as Josh Jostis brings home a state championship to Maroa-Forsyth in his 7th year as head coach. Let's go down to Sarah Kustak.
Guys, I'm here with the star of the game, Maroa-Forsyth, Luke Hockaday.
You all right?
Great game.
Hey.
3 touchdowns, a couple hundred yards. What does it feel like to be a state champion?
Oh, man. We've been dreaming about this for so long, and we're a team big plays, and we made a lot of big plays today. And what can I say about my receivers and my line? They just did a fantastic job, and those are the guys who make me look good. So.
You're the Country Insurance Player of the Game. Tell me what the difference was in that second half that got your offense going.
I don't know. During the halftime, we just came out and we just really realized, I mean, this is a lot of guys' last chance to put on the shoulder pads. We just came out and ready to go, and I just thought we just played a great half.
Now you're looking forward to going to Eastern next year?
Yeah, I am. We'll worry about that later, though. I'm going to celebrate this one.
You enjoy yourself. Thanks a lot. Congratulations,
Thanks
Luke.
Player of the game, and as we take a look at his numbers, 17 for 26, 216 yards passing, and 3 touchdowns. And Josh Jostis says he is as good as they get, the complete package, arm strength, touch, good decisions, and we saw all that in the second half from him.
Yeah, he did a great job. They had great protection for him all second half, and they were very impressive up front, giving him the time, and his receivers catch everything.
43-22, our final. We'll be back with more of the trophy presentation from Champaign right after this.
And we welcome you back to Memorial Stadium, and it's a final here in Class 2A, 43-22. Congratulations to the Trojans from Maroa-Forsyth. They are your Class 2A state champs. Dave Bernhard back with you, but we're going to go head downstairs. Josh Joseph standing by with Sarah Kustak. Sarah?
Thanks, Dave. Well, we got a switch in the hats, a new state championship hat. Coach, I know I asked you at halftime, but what did you tell your guys to turn things around?
Well, I can't tell you everything I told them at halftime, but the biggest thing was we were playing a real quality opponent. We haven't been tied. We haven't been down at any point this year. That was the first time we went even tied at halftime. So we had to tell the kids that, you know, we were playing a good ball club, which we were, and that it was going to be the team that wanted it the most, not just the better team, which most of our wins have been. We were just out-talented everybody. Today we had an opponent that was equal to us, and, you know, we came out. Offense was able to control the ball. We had the ball 6 minutes in the first half. I'd say we had it most of the afternoon, able to finish. Our quarterback was nails there, put the ball in the money the whole second half, and we were able to make some big plays.
Now, were there any changes or wrinkles in the offense that got it going in the second half?
They were flowing a lot, so we ran a lot of reverses, misdirection, and things to, you know, we're pretty quick, but they can match us team speed-wise, and so we did some things that we haven't had to do a whole lot this year, and most of them worked pretty well.
Well, Coach, congratulations. You go enjoy yourself.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Dave, back up to you guys.
Okay, thank you very much, Sarah. And you talk about a head coach that has to be a happy man, but maybe wasn't quite so happy at halftime. That's Josh Joseph, but he's got himself a state championship trophy. Well, joining me once again here during our break is Jason Kirby from Sherrard and Scott Hamilton from Tolono Unity. And, you know, it's always a case when you take a look at any sport, I think, guys, that early in the third quarter, it matters. And it mattered here in the 2A game.
I agree, definitely. The fact that they onside kick at the beginning of the second half and then got that down for a march and a score was a big deal to start the second half.
And then they go interception.
Yeah, you know, in the first half, Westville was able to control the clock, and I think that coming out in the second half, they were going to get the kick and hoping to drive it down, and Maroa got the onside kick and then a tipped interception, and boom, before you know it, the third quarter was almost eaten up and Maroa was on the way.
You know, what's kind of crazy, too, is you look at what happened in the last moments of the half. I mean, it was a case of where Westville is right there. There was a third down and long play to Robert Krebs, and isn't he fabulous? And all of a sudden, Maroa ends up putting 2 more on the board. I mean, so we were that close away to Westville turning it the other way.
Yeah, I think at halftime they definitely went in at halftime and thought they had the momentum, no doubt about it. I think that they went in thinking we're going to have the ball, as Scott said, and they're going to get ahead, and then what's Maroa going to do about that?
Yeah, I think that, you know, my hat's off to Hockaday and Krebs. I think that Krebs was a big difference maker out there today. he showed some Division I skills. I know that he's signed to play at UIC for basketball, and I'm sure his basketball season will be phenomenal. But he was a difference maker today. But my hat's off to the quarterback from Westville. I thought he was one whale of a football player and played a great game today.
Let's go down onto the field and enjoy the festivities here as we get the first and second place medals. Westville, of course, the second place finishers. And isn't, you know, you talk about teams that don't get there. We've got several teams here in our tournament here, our playoffs here this weekend. They're making their first trip. This is a big deal. You may have that initial motion, but you guys know, you've been down here. This is a big deal to get those medals draped around your neck.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm familiar with that second place medal, and
I didn't mean it that way.
we haven't found a way to get it. We've got 2 of those, and you know it's tough for the first few minutes, but I think that as time goes on and you get a chance, you realize what you've accomplished, and Westville should be very, very proud of what they've accomplished and where they've come from. Coach Goodlove has done a great job there, and they've got a lot to be proud of.
I think both the communities we've come from, you've seen how much it meant to the communities that we were in when they had that success. So without a doubt, this is a big deal for their communities, and they should be very proud of themselves.
Trojans Maroa-Forsyth getting their first place medals. Let's go over to our play-by-play booth and Lee Hall and Greg Bradshaw.
All right, thanks a lot, Dave. Well, there you take a look at Josh Jostis and his team, and you know, you don't get to mention. You mentioned the guys up front, and that was the difference in this ball game. Don Powers, Andrew Mills, Bryce Hilburn, Dustin Moore, Blake Hickey. These are the guys up front that never get the credit. All they care about is making sure Shane Conaway gets 100 yards, making sure Hockaday does what he does. But that was a difference maker. I'm guessing that's some of what Josh Jostis talked about at halftime was that they had to win the line of scrimmage. You talked about Westville winning the line of scrimmage in the first half, and that has to change for Maroa-Forsyth to do what they did in the second half.
Yeah, they had to make some adjustments. Westville was bringing linebackers on the blitzes, and they had to make a couple adjustments, I think, to block. They went to the quick passing game, and really those guys up front opened some holes in the running game to give them some rhythm. They had no rhythm in the first half. Second half, they controlled the football, moved the chains, got first downs, and then got in the end zone. So, yeah, those guys up front made a big difference.
And credit a team, you know, you talk about it, and you can't help who you're in the league with, and you can't help who you really faced in a high school football season. They had easy wins, but then they were challenged today, and they stood up to that occasion.
Yeah, and good teams do that. They have talent, and they have good coaching, and so they were able to make adjustments, and then they can execute that, and they have a lot of confidence. They had with that great season that they had, they believed they were going to come out and make the big plays and do whatever they needed to be successful, and they did.
Greg Bradshaw, pleasure. Lee Hall will be back for the 4A game. 1A football coming your way next on the IHSA TV network, and we will be back with more from Champaign after this.
And there's your final score in the Class 2A championship game. Maroa-Forsyth 43-22 winners over the Westville Tigers. And we're glad you've joined us here today, but we have to get outside in beautiful weather. I'm telling you, it's fantastic weather. Let's go down to Sarah Kustak.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Ed Stanley, the recruiting chair for the Inter-Association Council Athletic Officials. Now, you tell me a little bit about what that means and what you do for this organization.
Yeah, we call it IACO because we can't pronounce all those words. We're an umbrella group of 14 local officials associations. These are groups that support all of the basic sports that the IHSA sanctions. We have football, basketball, wrestling, volleyball. We've even added lacrosse this year, soccer, softball, baseball. We have groups that are made up of local officials that belong to those groups, and we're an umbrella group to support them. And it's my job as recruiting chair to help recruit officials for any and all of the sports that the IHSA supports. To that end, we're here with our recruiting displays. We have one in both the East and West Great Halls that we bring down here. It has a PowerPoint slideshow that runs that shows officials working. We have a display board that shows officials in various sports, and then we try and talk to people, attract their attention, talk to people as they come by, and explain that we need officials. Over the past 20-some years, the quantity of officials has been going down rather steadily. It's kind of bottomed out over the last couple years, but as they keep building new schools and adding new sports and adding more teams at these sports, we keep running into the same thing, that we're running out of officials. We find that we're not doing too bad a job of recruiting them, but we're having a little trouble keeping them. After about 5 years, when we say they're just starting to become good officials, then for various reasons they leave the avocation. And it is an avocation. We do it because we enjoy it. The pay is not that great, but it's a lot of fun, and if you're associated with high school sports, college sports in any way, officiating is just an excellent way to keep yourself in tune with the game. It's fun to be out there on the field with the players and the coaches and everybody else, and being a part of high school athletics. It's a lot of fun, and plus you meet a lot of very nice people. Some of my best friends are officials, and they've been that way for years.
Now, Ed actually told me earlier I need to lace up my shoes and put some stripes on. But in reality, you're looking for more women to be getting into this profession, correct?
More and more women's sports are being played. Girls softball is a big sport. The girls just love to play softball, and I guess get a little sweaty and dirty or whatever it happens in those girls softball games. A great sport. Volleyball is being played by a lot by women. Girls basketball is big. You know that if you come to Peoria, you see the girls teams playing, and we need women officials. It seems right to me and to everyone else that if a girl is going to play an athletic sport, it's right that she be officiated by a woman that knows how to play and officiate the sport too. So no, we're looking for anybody who wants to support high school athletics as becoming an official. We need them. We need them bad.
Well, thanks, Ed. We'll get everyone from the stands who's yelling at the refs to become an official, and then you'll know what it feels like. But thanks, Ed. We appreciate your time. Dave, back up to you guys.
Much, Sarah. And none of us have ever really yelled at a ref, have we? We're okay with that. Tell you what, there wasn't too much yelling going on unless you were in the stands for Maroa and Westville. The scoring highlights coming up, brought to you by Baker Square. Luke Hockaday, what a great day he had, and a great day to this man right there, wearing number 3, Robert Krebs. That got things started today. 43-yard touchdown pass made it 7-0 Maroa. But then Westville came right back. Caleb Pratt here on a 10-yard touchdown run. The extra point was no good. We set it a 7-6 Maroa lead. Still in the first quarter. Watch this. Here comes Justin Barnes coming your way. He'll eventually turn this up for 44 yards in the score. This came one play after a fumble recovery, and the Trojans were on top. 14-6. That was just with 15 seconds left to play in the first quarter. In the second period, only one touchdown, and this is what it was. Jordan Barney, a 38-yard pass from Atutis, and also came after a fumble. 14-14 to score. And there it is right there with the 2-point conversion, making it 14-all. In the second half, Shane Conaway on a 7-yard touchdown run. That would give Maroa the lead for good at 21-14. That came after the onside kick drive. Well, this came after an interception. Krebs wide open, 12-yard touchdown pass from Hockaday for a 28-14 lead. Then up over the top we go for the 2-point conversion, and that was your scoring highlights as Maroa added a couple of touchdowns a little bit later, and your final score 43-22 in the 2A game. Well, down here below us, we've got Aledo and Tuscola warming up. They're going to get set. We've got the 1A championship coming up next. Stay right there. This is the IHSA TV Network.